We're one day in. I don't know if I like this lighting in here, Jesse. Do I need to? Is it too yellowy?
It's mood lighting. You described it as yesterday.
I did describe it as.
It reminds you of your office in the basement. I like it.
Yeah, and lots of stuff in it, just like there is in my office in the basement too, at the humble Wilde Abode edition. The Bryan Bulaga is our cousin sub of the day, but we're running into a few technical glitches, so we're working on getting him on the air edition, but we'll get him. We would not want to miss out on a day with him. And the first day of the Tausch Summer Sabbatical edition. Speaking of first days, the first day of training camp is in the books edition. The 1923 uniforms for the Packers Throwbacks edition. And here's what stood out for me from the first day of camp. What interests you the most? We'll ask that question edition of Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, which you can find both in the Google Android App Store and the Apple App Store. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And somewhere in Florida, we think, our guy Bryan Bulaga is going to join us at some juncture. Jesse, I know you're efforting on that, so you're very focused on that. But did you enjoy your visit to Green Bay, Wisconsin yesterday? And did you get your umbrella back, which I ended up not needing?
I did get the umbrella back. I'm glad you didn't need it. So, yeah, I did enjoy the day yesterday. So one of the things I heard yesterday from some of the people who were out and about around practice was that it was a little subdued. It didn't necessarily feel like training camp openers of past years. I don't know if there was a little less excitement. There was some interesting weather. It was super hot, and there were thunderstorms going on around the state. Like, was it a little, like, I don't want to say underwhelming, but did it feel a little less pomp and circumstancy than past years to you?
So I just think that's and you know, Tausch tells such great stories about his time as a player. I just think that it's just so different from his time playing. And look, this is not new. This has been the way it's been now for quite a while, but I didn't think it was any less exciting than other years, because this is the world we live in, right? Pads aren't popping on day one. No one's ramming into each other at a high rate of speed, which, you know, there's no tackling. All that stuff doesn't occur anymore. And so to me, it felt like a regular day. Now, I will say this, the loudest cheer that I heard the entire time was from the crowd on the far sideline from where we stand, when Christian Watson, who is on the physically unable to perform list and is not practicing, and from what Goody said, is not going to be practicing perhaps at all during camp, and will indeed be starting on the PUP list for the regular season. Everyone went nuts when he went running past. And he was going, probably for him, given how fast he is, a little over half speed. But, it was just a roar of the crowd as he went by. So that was a big deal. And again, he's not practicing. He's out there. He's such a good culture guy. I mean, him and Bo Melton, I just think, are the two guys, even though neither one of them is the most productive wide receiver in the wide receiver room, they feel like the glue guys in there. But that was, in fairness to fans who felt that way, there was not a lot of, as Matt LaFleur called the locker room, sexy, don't you think? things about day one. And there won't be for two today either. Now, knock on wood, you don't want exciting things like apparently happened at the Jets practice today.
Yeah. Or
as Justin Fields was carted off the field this morning. That's not great, Bob.
not good.
Or Aaron Glenn. So we'll see. I mean, Jets are going to jet. It just feels like they are just a cursed franchise. So, you want to get through these 3 days. Nobody gets hurt. People know where they're going. And then you get your day off on Saturday, and Sunday's the first in-pads practice. It's the weekend. The crowd should be enormous. It'll probably be hot. But I didn't get that vibe, Jesse, that it was any more muted than it normally is.
Well, that's good. Some of the fans who were there said it just that, we didn't have the Aaron Rodgers returning, the Jordan Love first time as the starting quarterback. And I don't know, like last year even felt a little more like, all right, let's see what we got coming off a playoff berth and everybody hoping to kind of elevate. It felt different yesterday. That was my general.
Let me ask you this then, because is that because of the way the season ended?
Probably.
Because I'll tell you this, and we'll get into this when we get Bryan connected, but I'll say this. The Packers, the Super Bowl phrase, they are not shying away from it. And I don't think they have enough evidence to call themselves Super Bowl contenders. And as both Goody and LaFleur talked about when that subject came up, the reality is that they have a hell of a lot of work to do before they can consider themselves that. But they are embracing those expectations. There's no doubt about that. So again, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But for day one, I thought there were a couple of moments. You saw Matthew Golden catch a touchdown pass. I thought Malik Willis had some really good throws. But their offensive line, there's all kinds of stuff going on the offensive line. It's going to be an interesting 5 weeks as we lead into the opener against the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field on September 7th. Sources close to the program tell me that our guy, Bryan Bulaga, Iowa, is here. Bryan, good morning. How are you, buddy?
I'm better now. Running around the house. Trying to log into a computer and then it tells you no connection right before the show starts isn't a good feeling. So running around rebooting every antenna in the house isn't a good feeling. So I'm a little sweaty right now, but I'm okay. I'm good. It's good to be with you.
I'm just, I'm just so glad you care about it so much. I just appreciate
that's
that.
Why
And the fact
I wasn't around my phone. You guys are texting me, and I'm like, I'm not even by my phone. I'm running around rebooting every antenna in the house. I'm like, there's got to be Wi-Fi somewhere. I got to have Wi-Fi in or something somewhere around here.
Now you're a real radio professional, because until you experience a live technical issue like that, now you've made it. Now you're big time.
My God.
I don't want to take shots at the guy whose seat, figuratively speaking, you're in. But hey, you solved the problem yourself. You didn't have to call Abby to do it for you, like certain people have to call Sarah to service his personal IT department.
Oh, snap.
Good work. Well done.
Got it done.
The guy's gone 8 minutes and you're taking shots at him already.
Is it taking a shot at him if it's the truth?
Yes. I'm not saying you're inaccurate in your assessment of it, but
okay. All right, well,
taking a shot at him. Give him one segment to be like, oh man, we missed Tausch a little bit. No,
we do. Hey, we do miss him, but we've got a really deep bench, and we're happy to have Bryan today and some great cousin subs throughout the Tausch summer sabbatical. So Bryan, we'll get to everything we saw yesterday. I am curious. You are of a different era than Tausch is. You came along, your rookie year was 2010. Then we had the lockout in 11 before camp started a little bit late. But everything changed with that CBA. And we've got the ramp-up period now. We've got the day off after 3 shorts, jerseys, and helmets practices. And then we finally have the first in-pads practice on Sunday. It's smarter, but Jesse was saying that he encountered some folks, who were out and about at practice yesterday, and they said there wasn't a lot of juice. Is that just the reality of unpadded practices?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's excitement from the guys being out there. Really, I think that's the general consensus. I'm sure you saw that on the sideline. Guys are excited to be out there. It's the first day. I think from a fan perspective, though, in the stands, you're not going to feel that as much from the stands, right? It's not going to be there. You're not going to feel that energy without the pads on. You're just not, because you don't hear it. You don't the sounds aren't there, and people feed off of that energy, right? It's just like on game day when you hear pads cracking and helmets the sounds helmets make when they collide. There's energy that brings, right? And when guys hear that as well, right? Like when there's a collision in practice, guys feed off that energy too. So there's something to be said about that. So yeah, I totally understand where people are coming from with that are at practice these first few days. There's probably not as much energy as there will be in a couple days. We'll put it that way. That first day of pads, from what I always remember, was a very intense day. It was a very energetic, intense day. You never knew what you were going to get out of people. You always had to expect guys to play out of their normal selves, because they just, with the crowd being there, guys competing for spots, first day of pads, guys played not like themselves, right? They played out of character at some, points in times throughout practice. So you have to be prepared for that, right? And fans enjoy that, right? Fans enjoy seeing that type of out of character type showmanship, so to speak, right? That's really what this is, right? This is show business at the end of the day. That's what, that's why it's the #1 rated program on TV year in and year out, no matter what you say. Beats Game of Thrones, no matter, or now it's called, House of Bryan or whatever it's called. I don't know. I forgot what it's called now. But I can understand that, but for the guys, right? I know I just said it. For the guys, it's day one, right? Guys are excited to be there. And the break-in period is smart. I know they've increased it. When I was first there, I think we had like a 2-a-day of shells, maybe two a days of shells, and then we were right into it. Then it was a 2-a-day of pads, and we were rolling. I think, if I recall correctly. So they've gone smarter with it. There was no break in between before we put on pads. It was put on pads and let's go.
Yeah, they do have that now, the built-in day off. But look, it's better now to be a player than when you were, and it's definitely better now to be a player than when Tausch was, in terms of the workload and in terms of the fancy schmancy locker room. Like when Tausch came along as a rookie, that was even before the stadium redevelopment happened. So they were in the old locker room with the metal wire gated lockers and very stinky shoe containers and whatever else. And now they've got these, as Josh Jacobs called it, transformer lockers, that they have these seats, leather seats, that then they fold in and they reveal the contents of your locker. There's a fan to cool off your helmet and disinfect it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're struggling in there. They're roughing it. So we'll get into that. We'll also get into the new uniforms for the alternative uniforms. I can't wait to hear, and if you're watching on video, you saw a little facial expression from Bryan, so you have a little bit of an idea of what he thinks of the new unis. We'll explore that. And a lot of stuff on the field and off the field yesterday. The offensive line, to me, there's a lot going on there, man. You got two guys competing for their jobs. I loved my conversation with Rasheed Walker. You got Zach Tom going to buy a new car after still driving the car he had in college. So he's excited about that. And you've got Elton Jenkins, who Goody says once his back problem is resolved, he's going to be out there practicing. And we've done right by Elton, and he's done right by us. We'll have to discuss that as well, along with the way the Packers seem to be embracing, realistic or not, if you are a doubter, the Super Bowl expectations that have been placed upon them. We'll get to all that with Bryan Bulaga in as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs we believe in better, after we hear from Tausch telling us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. More next. It's Wilde Tausch.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. The Pella Experience Center lets you see, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of windows and door options from 7 different Pella lines, all side by side. Stop by soon, because if you order by July 31st, you can get 0 interest for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
This is
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Looking for the best spot to hang out at the Wisconsin State Fair? Head to Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill on the corner of Grandstand Avenue and 2nd Street. Enjoy the best music lineup at the fair, plus crowd favorites like French onion cheese curds and meatloaf and mashed bomb pops. Join the Taste Great Less Filling contest daily at 3 p.m. to win Brewers tickets, and don't miss the Miller Lite Toast from 5:30 to 7:15. Catch 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee broadcasting live on August 4th and 5th with chances to win swag, prizes, and more. For more details, visit lefts.com, and we'll see you at Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with 0 sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles and a leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder, here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play. We help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Drive a clean car every day. Tsunami Express Car Wash makes driving in style simple with unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Become a member and enjoy premium fast lane access, free vacuums, and powerful tire air, all included in your membership. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, New Berlin, and Mount Pleasant, it's easier than ever to get a winning wash with Milwaukee's favorite car wash team. Sign up and score big at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Bryan Bulaga is our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. All right, Bryan, we got a lot we want to get to, and then I got to get to practice, and we'll see what is going on down at Ray Nitschke Field a little bit later. But we'll get to the offensive line. But first, I thought it was really interesting, the messaging yesterday. And you and Tausch have both talked about how when you hear players all saying similar things, it means that the coach's message got through loud and clear. And I loved something that LaFleur said about the locker room. And basically, look, that gives us 0 wins. And the locker room may be sexy, which I thought of Tausch right away because for some reason he loves that word. But the work that you have to put in to succeed is not sexy. I like, not to be whatever, but I was proud of his messaging because that's how he approached it with his guys. But they talked a lot about work, but they did not shy away from the idea that they think that they are a Super Bowl team, whether they're right or not. And I know most of the other 31 teams think that way too on the first day of training camp. They were definitely embracing the idea, and it started, frankly, with Goody, who I had the first question bringing up the quote about urgency and being time to compete for championships. Then a few other people followed up, kind of got after us a little bit as if we blew that quote out of proportion. Coming from the general manager, I don't think we took it out of context or blew it out of proportion.
Not very nice.
You said it was time for them to start competing for championships. Here is what Bryan Gutekunst said yesterday.
Yeah, I know you guys made a lot about that comment. You know, really what that was about was, I think, you know, we have a lot of young players that have played a lot of football and they're very experienced. But us old guys that have been in this league for a long time understand the opportunities that you have in this league are not, you know, you don't have a lot of them. And so the understanding of that, I think, takes a little time. And that's where I think the urgency thing for me is you got to understand what's in front of us. We got a really good football team, a capability of being there. You got to take advantage of that.
So does it take a while to understand that about opportunities? Like, I always think of the story of Dan Marino, Bryan, who, you know, went to the Super Bowl in his second year as a starter, maybe. I don't think it was his rookie year. I'll have to fact check that. But the bottom line is he always thought he'd get back to another Super Bowl. And he still tells the story to this day. He never did. So do guys not understand how precious opportunities are? Because I don't know. They certainly had an opportunity in San Francisco, and I don't think they blew it because they weren't realizing how valuable that opportunity was. And they just didn't play well offensively in Philly. I have a hard time believing they didn't understand what was at stake then either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they like don't understand. You know, I don't think I look at it that way. I mean, I think that they are a young team. I think that's for sure. And I think you look back to the San Francisco year where they were playing really well in that San Francisco game and, you know, kind of what happened late in that third quarter and into the fourth. And you can call it what you want. I don't think it has anything to do with, you know, them thinking oh, well, or after the game, like, oh, well, we'll get back to another one, or we'll get back here again. That's okay. Like, I don't think that was the case. I just think they were a young football team. And sometimes in moments when you don't have a certain level of experience at certain positions, I'm not talking about all of them, right? Like, I'm not saying you need a grizzled team at every position to get over the hump. But, like, when you don't have certain positions that are filled with certain types of players, you can fall off at times in games. And that's kind of what happened in that San Francisco game. So I kind of looked at where they were at and kind of, hey, they just lacked a little bit of knowledge in these games to get them over the hump. And I think as time has gone on now, that this team has gained that knowledge and they've gained that experience to now put them in a position this year to get over that hump, or to go into those games with that confidence that they've been there now and they know how to maneuver those situations, so to speak. And the urgency part, I don't think anyone goes into like seasons and goes like, well, we'll always have next year. Like I never went into it that way, right? Like I never thought of it that way. Like I never looked at things that way. I think if you truly look at things that way, the Green Bay Packers aren't for you. Like, they just aren't. Like, that team, being part of this organization is not for you, because the goal of it is to try to win the Super Bowl every single year. And regardless of whether you think Goody or whether you think Ted or, Ron Wolf before that, regardless if you think if they built a roster that you think could compete for a Super Bowl or not, a lot of the guys that were in that locker room at the time and were in, within that roster thought that the roster was good enough, right? Like, and we did believe that. And we thought every time we took the field, we could win. I had mentioned the times before what years I thought that things didn't feel necessarily right. And that was really 2018. That was the one year where it just felt off to me. But besides that, every single year I felt we can go do this. So, like, the thought of next year was never a thought. So I don't know. I think Goody's kind of working backwards on that one. I think I knew exactly what he was saying in his original quote about the urgency. Like, it is a win now type mentality. And, like, I'm with him on that. Like, I totally understand where he's coming from, because that should be every player's mentality in that locker room. Is like, the thought is to win right now. Like, that is Green Bay Packer mentality. It's to win now. When you have a quarterback, as what we all think Jordan Love could be and should be, is a top-tier quarterback, the thought is to win now. When you have a defense like we saw towards the end of last year, that is a top 10 defense, the thought is to win now. And that is, to me, the way this team should be thinking going into this year. And that kind of leads into what you were talking about, the messaging of what they're all saying in the locker room about Super Bowl talk, right? Like, and I didn't hear every single quote that these guys are saying. I mean, you heard a lot more of it. But that seems to be the messaging, right? Like, I mean, you heard it a lot more than I did, but they seem to be talking about that quite a bit.
Yeah, and Matt LaFleur did it too, and he sounded very similar to Goody, so they are all kind of on the same page. Here's how Matt LaFleur, when we weren't being interrupted by alarms about some sort of police situation in Ledgeview, and when he wasn't getting after me for sneaking in an extra question, here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about the expectations.
Yeah, I think we're capable of doing some really good things, but we got to be willing to do the work, and that was pretty much the message to the team. Are you willing to do all the little things that it takes? Because it takes a lot to get even to that point to reach the postseason. It takes a lot to. I mean, we got a really tough division. We got a really tough schedule, and that's the National Football League. So, but you got to do all the little things. And then, you always got to have a little luck on your side in terms of staying healthy throughout the course of the season.
Work, 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 work. I guess my question is, when you have a veteran team and you played on some really veteran teams, that doesn't feel like something you have to preach. Whereas young players, even ones that have more experience now as they're going into year 3 or year 4, is this the byproduct of coaching and building a team that is, as two guys that have had their 30th birthday and they're both specialists, that you do have to kind of grind into these guys? It's about the work. It's about the work. Can't think about the Super Bowl in February. You got to think about doing the job today well enough so you take a small step forward so you can take another one tomorrow, so then eventually we're playing for a Super Bowl title.
Yeah, I think so. And I think he talked about, it's the work, but then it kind of even narrows it down a little bit more about the little things. And the little things are, you can go through what the little things are, but it could be as simple as going back and watching individual tape of what you did during individual drills that transferred over to, group sessions of, Packers versus Packers, and then going back and watching, team tape and kind of what you're doing on, going through each individual rep and team and seeing, watching one little thing that you want to improve on every day and breaking that down and seeing, did you improve on that? And if you didn't improve on that, go back to the practice, next day of practice. Let's try to work on that again and see if we can improve that. If we improve that, let's move on to something the next day and let's try to touch on that. And trying to continue to work on one little thing every day so that by the time we get to the season, we have refreshed on almost everything so that we feel really good by the time we kick off. At least that's the way I always approach things in camp. Because if you just try to knock out everything all in one practice, you are going to fall flat on your face. You're just gonna. So I guess as a way of, from a veteranish standpoint, that's how I approached camp, was one step at a time, one little detail at a time. So by the time we get to week 1, I feel good about it. And if you have a more veteran team, guys are used to going through a process that you don't really have to refresh them on that, right? You don't have to continue to harp on them about those little things. When guys are a little bit younger, when I was younger, Campy, and he had to remind me of these things, right? He had to remind me constantly of hey, we got to work on, your first 3 kicks. You got to, and it was constant reminders in my first 3 years of what I needed to continue to work on. And then by the time, in year 4, 5, 6, it was kind of just, I had already ingrained that in my head. All right, this is what I got to focus on the first couple weeks of camp. And I would just, it was natural for me. So that's where LaFleur is right now with this team and trying to get them to just naturally build those habits up themselves. And it takes time, right? For these guys. And there are some guys that are further along in the process, right? Like Kenny's there and Elton's there, and obviously Elton's not participating, but Kenny's there and Jacobs is there and McKinney's there. I mean, they're not 8, 9, 10-year guys, but they've been playing a lot of snaps, right? They've played a lot of football in this league. They've done, they've played a lot. So they understand their process, and obviously they've done it at a really high level. So they understand things. But there's other guys that there's a lot of expectations to perform that, they need to find their way on it. And he's just simply reminding them of that process. So there's a little byproduct of that, I would think. But at the same time, I think he sees a lot in the group. And I think a lot of people see a lot in the group. And you can't, like you said, you can't get to a Super Bowl right now, right? You cannot win a Super Bowl right now. You can't lose a Super Bowl right now either, right? I'm not saying that either. It's not week 3 where you can't get to the playoffs, but you could certainly lose the playoffs right now, or not make the playoffs right now. But you could certainly right now in training camp hamper I would say the continuity of a team if guys aren't progressing together, right? If they're not making strides together with how they're gelling as a unit, if that makes sense. If guys aren't progressing together with how they're kicking rust off and how units aren't meshing, that slows progress. So I'll stay in my lane with it. If say the right side of the offensive line is just really ticking along, right? They're looking good, they're communicating well, everything's going really smoothly, but for some reason the left side of the line is just blown assignments, they can't get it right. The offense is going to look terrible because like things are just off whack. They can't run the ball to the left. They can't pass protect. Like nothing's going to get off the ground. Like it doesn't look good. Like you're watching tape, like the defensive line's getting, like everything looks off. So like you need people to progress at the same level so that everything looks the way you want it to. So that's what he's kind of trying to preach to the team, that like everyone needs to put in the same amount of work and detail so that this thing, looks the way we want it to, and we're progressing the way we want it to. So by week 1, we're humming.
We'll get into where the offensive line is. Bryan mentioned, they have Elton Jenkins. He's here. He's got a back thing, as Brian Gutekunst put it. But hey, very confident that once the back thing resolves itself, he's going to be out there on the field. I did not get the vibe that things are going to go the way Elton wants them to right away, and that there'll be guaranteed money coming into his contract. So we'll talk about that. And Rasheed Walker competing to keep his starting job at left tackle, although the challenge didn't really start yesterday because without Elton, Sean Ryan was playing some center, which meant Jordan Morgan was playing some right guard. So a lot going on the offensive line, and that's not even including the guy they signed in free agency, who was the one guy who wasn't in the news yesterday. We'll talk about all that coming up. Speaking of news, you see news all the time about people that have been injured in accidents, and you just hope that they're going to be okay, one, but two, that they're taken care of. And that's what Gruber Law Offices is here to do, to make sure that you get what you deserve if you've been injured in an accident. Make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website gruber-law.com to find out more. More Wilde Tausch with Bryan. Bulaga is our cousin sub of the day. Coming up next. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel. That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese, all paired with your favorite sub, or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Bike crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Let's get into the offensive line. We happen to have a guy who has, I guess, a little bit of expertise in that department. That's, of course, me. No, it's not that guy on the video screen, although he's got a lot of expertise, too. It's, of course, Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. Bryan, so Elton was a key part of the conversation yesterday. Not Elton conversing with us, because he was not in the new fancy schmancy hoity-toity locker room when we were. He's on the non-football injury list, so he avoided us. But Goody got several questions, and one of them from me, you know, I had talked, Jesse, I had talked with you and Tausch about this leading into it. Like, I didn't know how to frame it, so I kind of went, you know, I understand that we don't talk about contracts around here, but you don't have your starting center. You know, how is this going to be resolved? And to my surprise, his answer, which we'll get to a little bit later in the show, was more expansive than I was expecting. Basically acknowledging that there is an issue there and how there's lots of guys in the league who aren't happy with their contracts. Okay, well, we're not worried about lots of guys in the league. We're worried about this guy in the league, and he's your center. But I want to get to, before that, and we'll circle back to that later. I want to get to, what is this hurting? He's got a back issue, apparently. I'm not questioning the veracity of his injury because I haven't talked to Elton about it, and I would never do that. There are reasons to wonder how severe it might be, given the circumstances. I think that's a fair thing to say. But the real question is, at what point do we start to get worried that he needs the work because he's moving to a new position that, while he played it in college and has played it sporadically in the NFL, he hasn't played it with this group of five right now. Here is how Brian Gutekunst views the importance of getting Elton Jenkins out there practicing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as much as we can. At the same time, I mean, Elton's played that position before for us. I think it's very natural to him. Again, he's very gifted there, so we like him out there as much as possible. But at the same time, he's had to go in there in very short amount of time, and he's excelled. So, but yeah, I mean, all our players, we'd like them out there as much as possible.
All right, Bryan, help me understand this. We'll set the uncertainty of when he's going to be cleared and how he feels about his contract and all that other stuff. We'll set that aside. Just from a purely football perspective, new center, quarterback, new guard, lots of moving parts on the offensive line. How soon does Elton need to be out there to be really, truly ready for September 7th?
I got asked this yesterday by Jesse and Tausch, and I would hope that he's back by probably after family night would be my, I would hope, by the time they start joint practices, that would be when I would hope that he's back with the group, because I think you look at what kind of starts happening when the joint sessions start to come about is they start to settle on that group, right? Like they start to get what five they want out there. Obviously, when Elton is back, right? Not like his back, so no pun intended. But like when he's actually like ready to be with the group, he's going to be one of the starting five. So like that's no question. So when he's back with the other four, they will have at that time the whole group figured out, or at least close to who they want the starting five guys to be. And that's when you want him to be taking reps with these guys, right? And figuring out, how each other, works together and how, Elton likes to combo block with each guard and how Elton communicates and how he's making IDs. And for Jordan at quarterback, like simple quarterback center exchanges, and when Elton's reaching a shade, like when he's snapping and reaching, like how does the ball come out? And when he's stepping, how fast does Jordan need to get out of just simple things like that, that not many people think about, but it happens. Right. Those are things that quarterbacks and centers, that's what center quarterback exchanges for happen before practice or in their little period that they're working on, that those reps simply aren't happening right now. Right. And then they get into the team periods and those reps happen too. And then they watch them on tape. And if it doesn't go well, they need to work on it. So I would say by the time they're competing against another team in a joint session, you would want Elton with the group. Is it going to happen? I don't know, because it doesn't. Again, I don't know the severity of the back injury. I don't know whether I have no idea. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on it. I have no idea. It's really none of my business. All I know is there is a contract dispute, and it's not a contract dispute based on wanting extended years or more money. Right? That's not the contract dispute. The contract dispute is essentially about wanting money within the current contract to be guaranteed. So that's not wanting more money. That's just guaranteeing money that's already within the contract. So that's really the contract dispute that we're talking about. So I think until that gets figured out, this is going to go on. And that's detrimental to this group. I truly believe that. So we can talk about how quick he'll be back or whatever. That's all fun, right? Like that's fine. But I don't know how quick Elton will be back. I don't know, because I just don't. If he's already made it, and again, I don't know what is going on with his back. I have no idea. I have not spoken to him. I'm putting that out there, and that's a God honest truth. I have no idea what's going on with his back. But if he's already made it this far, now participating, why would he rush back to just participate without having this contract issue settled? And that's just my take on it. Like, there's no need, at least in my opinion.
So you've got Elton, who, whatever severity of the back injury is, he's dealing with that. And then you got Rasheed Walker, who I thought handled himself great yesterday, considering the circumstances. Jesse's got a clip of an exchange I had with him, which I personally enjoyed, and I think Sheedo, apparently, as they call him, enjoyed too. We'll hear that coming up, and I'll get Brian's reaction to that. Matt LaFleur is at the podium right now. I don't think I got to this yesterday on our various shows, but he was just asked about Nathaniel Hackett coming back and helping out on the coaching staff, working with the defense, examining opposing offenses, kind of like Robert Saleh did, working with the offense, looking at opposing defenses through his eye. So we'll talk about that coming up as well. But got to remind you first that if you're looking for your best night's sleep, Steinhafels has you covered with Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Tempur-Pedic's advanced pressure relieving technology helps make those everyday aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now, Queen Hybrid models start at just $52 a month with Steinhafels 60-month financing. And when you buy, you'll get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Want to level up your comfort? Add an anti-snore adjustable base and sleep even better. Steinhafels, your mattress destination. So shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. More with Bryan Bulaga next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I would just say that right now I think all options are on the table. I think that they went through that trade thing and they talked to teams, and it's not like those talks are shut down.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
But they didn't go anywhere. And when they don't go anywhere, it opens up the possibility that he could be back.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Matt Jones.
Last year, they lost 6 one-score games. So those are 6 games. The Chiefs went 11-0 in those games. The Bears went 1-6. Now, granted, part of it is the Chiefs are the Chiefs and the Bears are the Bears. But you got to assume that flips a little bit. You got to assume you can't lose every game that comes down to the end. Second, Matt Eberflus was a disaster, just a disaster. And he had shown nothing up to that point to suggest he should keep the job. They did, probably should have been gone. Third, the offensive line was ranked 31st out of 32 in the league. That matters. It just does, especially for a rookie quarterback. Now you bring in a guy who is supposedly the best, one of the best OCs in football. It's a new regime. They shore up the offensive line, and I do think those 50-50 games can go the other way.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
To help those who want to be helped,
but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Hey Wisconsin, it's Mark Tauscher, and UW Credit Union and I love all things Wisconsin, especially the Wisconsin State Fair. And now, UW Credit Union's helping you enjoy it for free. Just open a new rewards checking account at any UW Credit Union branch in the Milwaukee area by August 1st, and you'll get a free 4-pack of Wisconsin State Fair tickets. For details, visit a Milwaukee area UW Credit Union branch or go online to uwcu.org/State Fair. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms apply.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, Bryan, you and I both know I have no business being an NFL player for a myriad of reasons. Although, you know, with where my weight's at, I'm getting kind of close to that part of the job. But thank you. But look, I don't think it's unreasonable in whatever job you have. Offensive lineman, working at Harnish Fager or Alice Chalmers, as my grandparents used to say in Milwaukee. You just want to feel like you're respected and appreciated. And yeah, the NFL is all about competition. But at the same time, when you pay some dues, you just want them to be respected. Is that fair? Like, I'm not saying you don't have to compete. I'm not saying that. But you would like also that what you've done for a team means something. Is that a fair way to view it?
Yeah, I think so. When you put some pelts on the wall, you want it to be, you know, shown with some respect, I think. I mean, that's normally the way it goes. And I think I know where you're going with it, right? When you have starts, there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said.
So we did talk to Rashid yesterday, and like I said, coming into the segment, I respected the way he handled it. I really did. I thought he handled it great because he knew the questions were coming. The easiest thing in the world would have been to just not come in there, right? Then you don't have to answer the questions, and he did. And so, but during our conversation, somebody had asked him about. You know, how does this make you feel, or how do you view this? And I thought it was really interesting that basically what he said was, what am I supposed to say? What do you want me to say? Well, I had a few suggestions for him on what he could say. Here is that exchange yesterday.
Rashid, what was your reaction, you know, when the front office says after the season they'll probably have to battle again for that left tackle job?
I mean, shoot, what can I say? What can I say? That's my big man. What can I say?
Well, Rashid, I would say this, and people around here know how soft I am. So I'd be sad and upset. I'd be like, hey man, I started 35 games here and played pretty damn well, and I saved your asses when David Bakhtiari got hurt after one game. I feel pretty good about what I put on tape. That's how I would have reacted. How do you channel that more healthfully than I would?
I mean, my thing is, we all know that's true, but, you know, they don't make Band-Aids for feelings. So it's all about, you know, I'm on a 4-year contract. So it's my last year of the contract. So, I mean, just do my best. Like, so, you know, I'm just blessed to even be able to still be able to play the game I've been through a lot of adversity in my career, so just to even still be able to, lace up my cleats, be playing in the NFL is every kid's dream. It's my dream. So I'm just happy, to have a role on the team and just be able to, add on.
You said that the competition is within yourself, and that's the healthiest way to look at it. But as Dave pointed out, it's not like you haven't been over this ground before. Does that help you, though, just to know what you're dealing with?
My thing is I just always handle things the same way, and that's just showing up every day, ready to work, and just trying to be better, and just not worrying about the outside things, just control what I can control.
Bryan, how do you grade, being the now media guy that you are, but the player you have been, how do you grade how she'd handled that conversation and how I'd be handling the competition and the disrespect I'd be feeling personally?
I think he did a good job with that. I mean, I think he knew that was coming. Whether he didn't answer those questions yesterday, they were coming today. If he didn't answer them today, they were coming tomorrow. Regardless of when he answered them, they were coming one way or another, right? So I think he did a good job handling them. And he kind of said at the end, he's gone through this, right? So, and his process has been really good of how he's handled it from the start, right? I mean, put your head down, work, and just try to get better every day. And getting better every day isn't like, it's not like becoming an all-pro player every single day, because, like, that's impossible. Like, you don't become an all-pro player one day after the next. Like, that's not what he means by that. It's improving on something every single day and making steps forward and not taking steps back, right? And in a competition, it's not giving ground, right? Like it's not creating space for, say now Jordan Morgan to gain on him, right? Like it's not opening the door. And that's really what, in this competition, even though now Jordan Morgan's taking reps at right guard, which makes this whole thing even more wild. You know what I mean? I have no idea what to even think of that now. If he's able to separate and continue to, create space between the two, then we may see this thing again be called like it was last year before, you get to family night. And that, again, is obviously advantageous to him, but he has the right mindset of just get better at something every single day and continue to just gain ground on the competition. And if he's able to do that, he'll be in line to again start another, 18, 19 games or whatever, how far they make it in the postseason again. And that's the best thing for him, right? And he's got the right mindset. He's got the right mentality. He's been through this, so he understands the nature of it. The NFL's it's a tough gig, right? It's a tough gig if you're on the last year of a deal. You're not a high round draft pick. You understand that they just gave a massive contract to the right tackle. They just gave a massive contract to the left guard. There's a very good chance that they're not going to give a big contract to the left tackle. Like it's a tough mindset to be in, because you play the numbers in your head and you understand there's only so much money to go around. So you just have to get in your own space and know you have to perform. Yes, for the team. You have to perform for the team. You're on the 2025 rendition of the Green Bay Packers, and you guys are trying to achieve something special. But on the flip side of that, you are trying to perform for yourself and what you can do for yourself in the market coming up. That's what, at the end of the day as well, you are trying to perform for that, because the numbers don't number with the Green Bay Packers coming up in free agency. Like, you just know it, right? And there's no way around it. Like, we can all try to sugarcoat it, but that's just the way it goes, right? So he's on that. He's trying to balance that the best he can, and it sounds like he's doing it. And obviously, I wish him the best. I mean, I got to talk to him last year on that tailgate tour. I think he's a great guy. He's got his head on his shoulders correctly, and it sounds like he's ready to give his best in this competition. Even though, like I mentioned, It doesn't sound like it's starting off as a competition because of where Jordan Morgan is taking reps currently. So fun, really fun competition.
We'll have some fun next. We'll talk about the release of the Packers throwback uniforms. I know there are some opinions on the panel. I want to get Jesse's, and I obviously want to get Bryan's as well. We'll do that when we kick off the 10 o'clock hour, and then Jesse and Bryan will handle trivia so I can head down to practice. But most importantly, want to remind you that ever since these uniforms were the uniform back in 1923, Associated Bank's been part of the Packers. They were there at the beginning. They were there at the beginning for us as our show began 9 years ago, coming up on that anniversary. And they're there for you as the best bank when it comes to customer service. They've got the awards to prove it. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more about early pay, about credit monitoring, about fraud protection, about Packers, Badgers, and Brewers checking, everything you could possibly want in a bank and more. AssociatedBank.com. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
The Brewers finished 5-1 on their 6-game West Coast road trip after taking 2 out of 3 from the Seattle Mariners, including a 10-2 win in the series finale. The crew pounded out 17 hits and saw everyone in the lineup get a base knock. Bryce Terang finished 3 for 5 with a pair of runs scored and drove in 3 in the victory.
3-2 coming. Drilled into deep right field. Back goes Canzone, turning around and watching it go off the warning track. Scoring from second is Siegler, right on his heels to the plate. Ortiz. No throw home. It's a 2-run double by Bryce Terang.
The Brewers back home at AmFam Field Friday night start a 3-game weekend set against the Miami Marlins.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Best Marquette games ever, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Top of the list, 77 National Championship game, win over North Carolina, 67-59. Butch Lee, the most outstanding player, but freshman Bo Ellis played 39 of 40 minutes. No freshman plays that much in a national championship game. He did. Al McGuire, greatest defensive coach in state history. Marquette, second in the country, giving up only 59 points per game. Oh, baby, perfect final, 67-59. If you're a company owner offering medical insurance for your employees, you may be sick and tired of the constant increase in rates or change in benefits. Now's the time to take a look at a different type of plan. At Saganiac Planning, it's called level funding, an opportunity to keep premiums low and possibly receive a return of your premiums. For more on level funding, call Jack Saganiac, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Our friend Matt Carney played this song when Paul and the girls and I went to see him in Door County the other night. And I thought we were starting the 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Bryan Bulaga is in as our cousin's sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Well, Bryan, if you believe in better, you have a history of wearing, I have a history of wearing my heart on my shirt, of wearing throwback uniforms during your playing career. Do you have a favorite from your time playing?
I like those ones where it was just the what was it like it was like the lighter brown helmet, just the straight navy with the gold circle and the brown pants, or like the tannish pants and then just the navy socks. Those are my favorite. I like those a lot. Those are great throwbacks.
Do you feel the same way about the ones that have been unveiled today? The 1923, we're going back to our roots uniforms that they will be wearing with the leather-looking painted-on helmets. How do you feel about those?
All right. So,
all right.
I like the jersey. I think the jersey looks good. Like I'm totally good with the jersey and the pant combo. Like I'm good with it. The helmet is. I mean, I'm just going to be totally honest. I like to be honest on here, and people
we like you to.
Not the helmet is brutal. The helmet's brutal. I can't.
Wow.
I don't like the helmet. I don't like the printed on. Like I don't like that. Like it just looks brutal to me. I'm not a fan of it. It's just I'm not feeling it. I wouldn't like it. I don't like it. I'm not even wearing it. And that's just me.
I'm sorry, Bryan. Could you clarify your position? Because I feel like you've kind of been a little wishy-washy on the helmet.
And maybe I wasn't clear. Maybe I wasn't clear. I mean, I like everything else though. I like the jersey. I like the stripes on the shoulder. I think that looks really good. I think that looks clean. The helmet is just it's throwing me off. Like I get we want to go back to the leather helmet, but like the printed helmet on the helmet, it's not. It's tacky. It looks tacky, and I'm just not feeling it. Nope.
So
too much. Too much.
Jesse, you pointed this out while we were getting ready for the show today, and I had forgotten about this, honestly. Illinois did this with their throwbacks. Was that last year? Was that against the Badgers?
No, it was against Michigan. They unveiled their throwback. So Illinois did, like, all season long, they did different throwback uniforms. They were celebrating some anniversary last year. So they had, like, their 90s uniforms, their 70s uniforms. And then there was one set of uniforms that went all the way back to the beginning, which is essentially what these Packers ones look like, which Illinois, to my knowledge, is the first team that ever did the fake painted on leather helmet, which I would think is where, inspiration served for what the Packers are unveiling here. It's pretty similar looking to what Illinois wore against Michigan last year. So I'm kind of with blue. When I watched that game on TV, I watched that Illinois game. It was kind of weird looking at it on TV because it actually does look like the helmets are leather when you're watching it. So it's a visually strange experience watching it on TV. I don't know if it feels the same on the sidelines or in the stadium or anything like that, but
do you have a photo of Illinois by any chance?
I'll pull it up here in a second. I have to download one from the internet here, but I'll get that up here for you. But yeah, they're very similar looking with the navy blue uniforms, with the brown leather looking helmet. The thing that I'm glad about with this, here's my take on the throwbacks. They said they're wearing them against Atlanta. Perfect team to wear them against. I hate when we do throwbacks on Thanksgiving against Detroit when that's a massive game. I hate when Michigan and Ohio State mix up their uniforms when they play each other every year. Like, there's certain games that you need to keep the traditional uniform. I didn't like when the Packers, I think they wore the white helmets against Minnesota last year. Was that a game that they wore the white helmets? Like, I don't want that. I don't want Minnesota wearing their white helmets against us. Like, when you're playing divisional opponents, when you're playing big rivalry games, massive NFC implications, AFC teams you only play once every 4 years. I don't want those to be games where you're mixing up the helmets. I want the traditional look. So we don't go 8 years before seeing the Packers and Chiefs wearing their traditional helmets playing each other. So Atlanta's the perfect team to do this against.
We always used to do. Remember, Jason, when it used to be the the color rush games, and we'd play the Bears and we'd wear those disgusting all whites, and we would be the color rush. I feel like we always played the Bears on color rush night, and it would be the all. I want to talk about like feeling awful on a nationally televised game. It was the color rush all whites. Oof, bad look.
So obviously, like yesterday, and we're going to be asking guys about this today with the uniforms now. But yesterday we were asking about the locker room, and it wasn't as if any guys were going to say, "Well, I got to be honest, they did away with the Green Mile, and we're kind of cramped in here because the locker space is not nearly as big." Which, by the way, is true. Like, I'm not using the locker room other than to interview people. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of open space in the middle. But it almost felt like the lockers are a little more condensed because they took what used to be, the main locker room and then the additional locker room, and now everybody's in the same spot. So you're not treated as a second-class citizen if you're on the practice squad, for example. Now, again, there's also 90 guys in there, and there will only be 70 once the season starts.
So is it still the same shape? Like, did they keep the same football shape or no?
They did. It is.
So
it is on
everyone in there.
So it's on the same footprint, but it's expanded longer. So it's even more oblong than it had been before. Still got a G carpet. It's a different one. It is nice, no doubt about it. But my point was going to be that we didn't need anybody to fake it. Oh yeah, this place is great, and they didn't really feel like that because they all do feel great about it, right? When it comes to alternative uniforms, and not just you personally, because you're kind of a grumpy old man sometimes. Fair?
Fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of rude, but fair.
Do guys get excited about this? Like they did the photo shoot. Obviously, they got Love in a jersey, and they got Tucker Kraft. Like, are guys excited about this? Are they excited about it when they actually wear them? Like, what is as a player, and not just you, what is generally the feeling among players?
I don't know if guys are excited. I mean, the only thing I was excited about with them were the pants. The pants were different than the normal Nike pants, and they were like stretchy and flexible, and they felt amazing. So like I looked forward to the throwback game because the pants were different than the normal pants, and they felt great. Like they were like unbelievable. So like if they're wearing those same pants that we got when it was the throwbacks, then yes, these guys are in for a treat. Then they are going to be very happy with the pants. So that's why I really liked the throwbacks that we wore because the pants were amazing. But besides that, like I didn't really I thought it was a cool jersey to collect, right? Like I have all my throwback jerseys because like I thought it was a cool jersey to hold on to. I think it's a nice, keepsake, right? Like they're cool throwback jerseys. Like you have the regular, green and white jerseys that you can get after the season. But the throwback ones are cool. I think they're cool to hold on to, but like excited to like just playing them one off. Like, I mean, it's a jersey. You put it on, you go play, right? Like, and that's really the way I view it. It's not, but again, like linemen look a lot different in these things than like the skill guys. They look a lot cooler in these things than we do. So, let's just call it what it is, right? Like they look a lot better in these things than we did. So maybe the skill guys feel a little bit different about it than we do. But at the end of the day, like it's a uniform. You put it on and you go roll. But for me, it was always the pants. It was always the pants. The pants were good.
Yeah, Rodgers used to say that all the time about those pants. And my only question, because that was back when we were doing the radio show. My question was, well, then why don't they make your regular pants out of the same material so you guys are all comfy all the time? Am I the only one to wonder that?
We asked, and we just got told, nope, can't do it. And we were like, well, why? Can't do it. We're like, well, we don't understand. It's above our pay grade is what we were told. Okay, sounds good. Like, no big deal. And that's just what it was. No, can't only good pants for one game. Good pants for one game. The rest of them, deal with it. But they made minor adjustments to the regular pants. Probably in 2016, they brought in a different pant that had a different stripe on the side that was more. That wasn't that thick band, like it wasn't a thick banded.
Okay.
Like that made it more flexible and stretchy. That they tried to mimic that brown pant a little bit more, and it was better. It still wasn't the same by any stretch of the imagination. Was not the same, but it was better. So maybe even now it could be even better. But those pants, I will go on record, the best pants ever. I don't know who made them. I don't know what company. I know there was a Nike logo on it, and I've worn the Nike pants, so I know they weren't Nike. I don't know what company made those pants. God bless you. You guys got to find out a way to get into the NFL because every player will love those pants. I promise.
So I did find the Illinois uniform here, so we can do a little comparison. So this is Jordan Love wearing the Packers one that was unveiled for this season. Here is, they called these the Red Grange throwbacks for Illinois last year. So that the leather helmet looked more orange than it did brown like the Packers one does. And obviously,
we're workshopping it.
A little busy, the rest of the uniform that Illinois wore in this game. It was very distracting to watch last year. But the helmet is what stuck out on television.
Yeah, Illinois' I will say this. Green Bay's is better than that. Green Bay's, obviously starts with the jersey. Green Bay's is a million times better than that. And their helmet is better. So, I'll give Green Bay, marks above than what Illinois did. It's way toned down from that. For sure. I'll give them that. I'll start there.
Well, that's nice.
So, yes.
That's a win?
Yeah. Yes.
It doesn't. They don't suck as bad as Illinois did.
Yeah, but that jersey that Illinois has on is absolutely disgusting. Ugh.
And they beat Michigan in these uniforms. It was a big win for them last year.
Oh my gosh. That's even worse.
All right. We could talk men's football fashion all day, but we must get to trivia.
Could we?
I don't know if we could.
I don't know if we could either, but it felt like a good line at the time. Jesse, I'm gonna head down. What do you got for a category, and what caller would you like?
Today's trivia category: new season, who dis? New season for the Green Bay Packers, so there's always some questions with
very clever,
some unfamiliar faces, getting to know some of the new guys. So new season who dis is the category today that Bryan and I will play. Let's do caller number 10 for Jordan Love. Caller 10.
Caller number 10. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 10 right now for Wilde Tausch Trivia. Bryan and Jesse will play that next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Looking for the best spot to hang out at the Wisconsin State Fair? Head to Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill on the corner of Grandstand Avenue and 2nd Street. Enjoy the best music lineup at the fair, plus crowd favorites like French onion cheese curds and meatloaf and mashed bomb pops. Join the Taste Great Less Filling contest daily at 3 p.m. to win Brews tickets, and don't miss the Miller Lite Toast from 5:30 to 7:15. Catch 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee broadcasting live on August 4th and 5th with chances to win swag, prizes, and more. For more details, visit lefts.com, and we'll see you at Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems. Installation of new or old hoops and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
The Brewers return from the break with a jam-packed week of action. First up, a summer battle with the Marlins, July 25th through the 27th. Come for the action, stay for Pokemon Go Day on Friday the 25th, and a Bryce Terang bobblehead on Saturday the 26th, presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Then, it's time to battle back when the Crew takes on the Cubs for 3 games starting on July 28th. Get tickets for a week of Brewers action you don't want to miss at Brewers.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, representing the auto dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam member dealers employ more than 6,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 15th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil campaign. To date, Adam has donated over $953,000, which provided over 3.8 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S. And they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit LakelandSupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Discover Proof Pizza at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. In the heart of Milwaukee's Theater District, this modern pizzeria delivers Neapolitan-style pies, a bold grill menu, and old-school hospitality in a sleek, art-inspired setting. Whether you're craving a quick lunch or a relaxed evening bite, Proof Pizza is your go-to downtown destination. Dine in, unwind, and savor flavor that hits just right. And here's a tip. If you mention Jen Latta, you'll receive 10% off your order. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days. All our troubles we'll lay to rest and we'll wish we could come back to these days.
Wilde and Tausch back with you, Jesse and Tausch. Jesse and Bulaga, actually, for the time being. No Mark Tauscher. He's on his summer sabbatical. Jason Wilde on his way down to Packers training camp practice number 2, where he will share his insights and observations from Green Bay as the Packers get set to take to the practice field. Not sure what the weather looks like out there today. He had to bring the umbrella yesterday. Here in Madison, kind of overcast skies, so we'll see what it looks like up in Green Bay coming up here in just a little bit. In the meantime, it is time for Bryan and I to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, which is presented by Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
And we are off to a hot start this week. No trivia yesterday. It was a busy show at the opening of Packers training camp practice. Monday and Tuesday, we had first-time contestants. And I am happy to share that all 3 now of our contestants so far this week are, in fact, first-time contestants. We welcome in today's contestant. It is Derek in Sauk City. Derek, welcome to Wilde Tausch Trivia. It's not the Wilde Tausch experience you may usually get with Jesse and Bulaga holding things down, but nonetheless, you are here to play trivia. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. Doing good.
Excellent. Good morning.
Derek, so Jason always likes to ask when we have a first-time contestant, have you tried calling in to play trivia before, or did you happen to get super lucky on your first time ever attempting to play this game?
I think this is probably my third time attempting, so yeah, we'll go with a little luck here.
Wonderful. Well, good luck to you, Derek. Pleasure to have you on board. Today's trivia category, new season, who dis? Green Bay Packers newcomers as they take to the practice field here on day 2 of Packers training camp practice. I'll show Bryan how it's done by asking question number 1. He'll have question 2, and then we'll go from there. Question number 1 for you, Derek, is this. Which 2025 Green Bay Packers draft pick just signed his rookie contract late last week? Was it Anthony Belton, Baron Sorrell, or Johnny Deadline?
Ooh. We'll go with Baron Sorrell.
Baron Sorrell, day 3 pick. Sorry. Sorry, Derek. It was actually Anthony Belton, the second-round pick. Tausch was pretty intrigued by how the second-round pick stuff was playing out. Bryan, did we talk much with you about the second-round pick situations around the NFL with that guaranteed money?
No, but I was keeping up on it, and I thought it was fascinating. I don't know how it's still going on. Did all of them sign, or they still got?
I think a lot of them signed. I don't know if all of them have, but a lot of them started to sign around the same time Belton did, which was on Friday of last week. So, I think most of those have been resolved now. But Belton is signed. Everybody's in camp. Here we go. Chance to bounce back, Derek. Question number 2 is asked by Bryan Bulaga.
All right. At least for now, which unconventional jersey number is Packers wide receiver and first-round draft pick Matthew Golden set to wear this season? Number 44, 33, or 22?
We'll go with 22.
Yes, sir!
Ding, ding, ding.
Now, Bryan, were you ever involved in any jersey number swaps in your time?
Like guys changing numbers?
Did anyone ever come to you asking for your jersey? Did you ever go to anybody hoping to get a jersey number? Anybody close to you involved with that?
No.
No? None of that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, Bo Melton switched because he's officially listed as a corner, I guess, now. So, he switched from 80 to, I think they said 16 is his number. And so that has opened speculation that perhaps Matthew Golden would want to switch from 22 to 80 to have a more traditional wide receiver number. So that's the training camp information that is always fun when you first get there. And
interesting.
These rookies and some of the newcomers start switching numbers. All right, Derek's got 1. Let's see if he can get the final question correct here for a second correct answer. Question number 3 for you, Derek in Sauk City. Where did new offensive lineman Aaron Banks, who signed as a free agent with the Packers this offseason, play his college football? Tough one. Where did Aaron Banks play college football? Auburn, Notre Dame, or Penn State?
Oh, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is correct. Did you know that, Derek, or was that a lucky guess?
That's just a lucky guess.
Sometimes it's better to be
lucky than
good. Yep, exactly. Nice job.
Good guess.
Nice job, Derek. You got 2 of the 3 questions correct, which means you have 3 of the possible 4 entries. If Tausch was here, I'm sure he would say, you don't see it too often where you get the first one wrong and get the next 2 right. But that's exactly what happened for you, Derek. Nicely done. Thanks for playing. Thanks for tuning in and being a first-time contestant. Appreciate you, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Love you guys.
Yeah, gotta leave with a love, you guys. That's a real one right there. Derek in Sauk City, today's contestant for Wilde Tausch Trivia. Jesse Nelson, Bryan Bulaga holding it down for the moment on Wilde Tausch. Jason Wilde is heading over to the training camp sidelines where he is standing by. He will rejoin the show here in just a few moments as we get set for day 2 of Packers training camp up in Green Bay. So that is straight ahead. Jason will get situated, and we will hear from him coming up next. Before we do so, as we head to commercial break, we hear from Mark Tauscher telling us about the ice-cold, refreshing taste of Coors Light. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Mark Tauscher here for the Blue Mountains of cold, refreshing Coors Light. Whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying your experience during the game, celebrating a big win after the game, or you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process: cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's actually made to chill. The mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans turn blue when chilled to perfection, which, besides the refreshing taste, is my favorite thing about drinking Coors Light. Refreshingly cold and only 102 calories, Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Mark Tauscher, and UW Credit Union and I love all things Wisconsin, especially the Wisconsin State Fair. And now, UW Credit Union's helping you enjoy it for free. Just open a new rewards checking account at any UW Credit Union branch in the Milwaukee area by August 1st, and you'll get a free 4-pack of Wisconsin State Fair tickets. For details, visit a Milwaukee area UW Credit Union branch or go online to uwcu.org/State Fair. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms apply.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Grid Life is up next July 23rd through the 25th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to take care of yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song, and therapy. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough, but getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
The Big Slide, barns and barns of animals, and all that food on a stick. State Fair is one of the biggest events of the summer, and we'd like to send you there. Compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Purchase any 1-case 30-pack cans of Miller High Life or any 1 12-pack Leinenkugel craft beer and receive 1 free State Fair ticket, all while supplies last. But don't delay. Tickets go quickly. And I know you don't want to miss the bacon-wrapped bacon. Visit us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Discount Liquor, voted best liquor store in Milwaukee, again! See us this week for your free Wisconsin State Fair ticket.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
And visit us online at discountliquorinc.com.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Tausch with Bryan Bulaga. It's our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe it better. All's quiet on the Ray Nitschke Field front as the players have not emerged from their pre-practice, whatever it is they're doing. They're stretching, maybe, Brian. They're maybe doing some top secret stuff. It is overcast here. It's pretty warm, but not like the sun beating down on you warm. I'm curious, during your playing days, what was the best you could hope for as a player in terms of the weather conditions for training camp practice for you?
Ooh, if I was begging for, I would want a little overcast, 75 degrees with some breeze. That'd be perfect. It'd be a great day. That'd be nice.
And what's the
overcast?
And what's the worst that you remember?
Looks like we might have a little technical difficulty. Oh, here we go. Looks like Brian got muted. Here you go, Brian. You're good.
Would you mute me?
Yeah, I was tired of your. Yeah.
Oh,
Jesse.
Thanks.
What's the worst that you experienced, other than Jesse muting you, which has got to be pretty bad too?
All right, now I know what Tony Reale felt like on Around the Horn all those years.
Wow, appreciate it. The worst, it would be like it was because I mean, in Green Bay sometimes it can get a little hot at times, depending on what time you go out there. Well, like it'd be like 85, dead air, and just muggy.
I thought about it.
Like that's the worst. Like, and that would be like you know, get out there around noon, 1 o'clock, and it's just dead air, muggy, and it's the worst. And that's, you know, I mean, I'm complaining. I live in Florida, but at the time I wasn't, you know, living in Florida. I was in Green Bay, and that was the camp. That's the worst camp condition in Green Bay, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I would be. I have a lot of wimpy characteristics. Unfortunately, Sydney, our youngest, has inherited one of them. She's better than me in just about every single way, except like, especially when it comes to soccer games. If it's hot, she is blanket miserable. And I can't imagine, like, again, today, the team has just come out. They're about to run some 11-on-11 walkthrough stuff down at this end of the field. But 90 degrees and humid in full pads for an hour and 45 minutes. Oh, I don't think I could last. Tausch was telling the story yesterday of, you know, sweating so profusely that when you would walk, your cleats, your socks were so soaked with sweat that it was as if you'd been caught in a rainstorm and it's completely dry everywhere else, but your feet, it's like you are walking, your shoes are absolutely saturated. That sounds so unpleasant, Brian. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, some guys are like, you know, the feet sweaters, and that's disgusting. Like that. Some of those guys have that issue. I mean, I always, just for purposes of trying to prevent that, I was always a double sock guy. So I would wear, make sure that just so your feet wouldn't slide around in your shoe. One pair of socks, I didn't want to get blisters or anything like that. So I'd be a double sock type guy just so I wouldn't do that. But just in case you did sweat a little more than you wanted, it would try to absorb some of that so you didn't have that feeling. Because that would be uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. But it is the pads in 90 plus degrees for an hour and some change. It's not a great feeling. We'll just put it that way. It doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. And then if there's no breeze or no cloud cover, it's a long day. We'll just put it that way. It's a long day.
Bryan, when we talk about this ramp up period, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but I was talking to Matthew Golden. From a rookie perspective, can you take us back to your first training camp? Because Tausch always talks about how his rookie year, they actually had the rookies practicing, just the rookies. So they had a couple of days to kind of get their feet wet, pardon the pun from our earlier conversation, but get their feet wet. And then the full team would show up, and then they've kind of at least gotten a little bit of a feel for the NFL before, Gravedigger Gilbert Brown was knocking Tausch around or whatever it might have been. So what do you remember from your first camp in terms of how it played out? Because, Matthew Golden he basically has hit the ground running. They all have. They had to come in right away and be ready right away.
Yeah, we didn't have that like Tausch did. I mean, that was what we had that for the OTA period where they brought us in early and we got to kind of do that before they brought in the guys for the OTA period. But I remember my first few days at camp, I was just trying to keep my head above water, and I felt like I was always like behind and just trying to keep up because, the guys they'd go from drill to drill to drill, and they knew what they were doing and they knew what to expect, and they just understood what was going on, and I had no idea what to expect. And when you don't know what to expect, you feel very overwhelmed at times. And that's a bad feeling when you're tired and you're exhausted and you're trying to remember a playbook and a lot of things are going through your head. And that's how I kind of felt for the first week of camp. Like you're mentally exhausted, you're physically exhausted, and you're not sure of everything at that point in time. So like your head's spinning a little bit. And it wasn't until probably about the second week where I kind of started to settle in and I understood the routine and kind of the groove of practices and kind of the flow of things and how Coach McCarthy's how he wanted practice and how Campy wanted things and how Joe Philbin, the offensive coordinator, how he wanted things to look and kind of the tempo of practices too against the defenders and what to expect from certain players on defense. It took a little time. So I felt like just trying to stay afloat for a bit. Now, obviously things have changed and things like that, but for rookies, I don't know how much it's changed feeling overwhelmed, right? Like I still feel like that's probably a feeling that they all feel because it's a new playbook. There's a lot of verbiage they need to learn. It is a new way of playing, right? Like college to the pros is a new way of playing. You just can't play the same exact way you did in college because it doesn't work. Like, yeah, you got to be yourself, but you got to make changes to your game. You got to be able to adapt. You have to be able to learn on the fly because if you can't, you're going to get left behind. So these guys are trying to be themselves, but adapt and then learn a new playbook at the same time and adjust. And there's a lot to do in a short amount of time and still perform. So there's a lot that these guys have to go through. And you learn a lot about guys in a short amount of time. And that's the strength of camp. That's the whole point of this thing.
Well, the good news for these guys is if they feel taxed or anxious or tired, they've got a posh, luxurious new locker room to go back to after practice. I'm a little concerned because Jesse and I agree on something. we agree that the most interesting thing that Matt LaFleur said yesterday was about the locker room, but not really about the locker room. You'll hear what he said, and we'll explain why Jesse and I agree on this with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. More Wilde Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
We're on the Badgers.
The schedule is real.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. 50 states, 50 days, and now it's your turn, Green Bay.
I'm Chris Berman. The Sports Center is next.
Now, Sports Center.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ESPN Sports Center.
The big show is coming to the frozen tundra.
Coming up on the ESPN Sports Center.
Shea Cornette and Sports Center will be live from Lambeau Field for the back-to-football weekend.
As a grand American once said, hi, hello, and welcome back to the ESPN Sports Center.
Tune into ESPN at 11 a.m. on Friday to catch all the action.
Ready to escape to a resort that has it all? The Island Resort and Casino is your total thrill getaway, where championship golf, a luxury spa, world-class gaming, and epic entertainment come together. Tee it up at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Unwind at the Drift Spa. Dine, play, win, repeat. Go all in on an unforgettable getaway. Book your total experience today at islandresortandcasino.com.
At Cousin Subs, the bigger your smile, the better we feel. That's why our menu features something for everyone, like our Wisconsin cheese curds, golden fries, creamy shakes, and mac and cheese, all paired with your favorite sub, or our subs in a bowl. And don't forget our kids' meals, now with a free cookie. Here's to a better day. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
The deals are heating up at the Summer Savings Event all summer long at Cunis. Get the hottest savings of the year at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have sizzling new vehicle specials on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or with one of our 10 pre-owned super specials, you'll be swimming in a pool of savings. Plus, keep your vehicle refreshed with our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Get outside and enjoy the Summer Savings Event at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
At IKEA Oak Creek, we love helping you make your home uniquely yours. And now, we are making it even more rewarding with new rewards from IKEA Family. With rewards, members earn points on every purchase and extra points for things like attending qualifying IKEA Family events, utilizing IKEA planning services, and much more. Then use your points for great rewards, including discounts on purchases and services, and of course, delicious food. Did somebody say meatballs? IKEA is making it more rewarding than ever to be part of our family. Not a member yet? Sign up for free at IKEA.com/US and start earning.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Brand new, don't close your
continue to practice at Ray Nitschke Field. We continue with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. And Jesse, let's get to this clip from Matt LaFleur yesterday. Jordan Morgan pumping up the crowd, which is nice of a backup offensive lineman to do, right? Right, Bryan? At least for now, we'll see how things
not
play
very
out.
Nice.
I know I'm not a very nice person. I think we've established that today. But I did think that something Matt LaFleur said yesterday was really interesting, and apparently you did too. Let's play what Matt LaFleur had to say about the new locker room, and then get Jesse's reasoning for finding this the most interesting thing he heard from the head coach.
I think it's nice, but like I told our guys, it gives us 0 wins. I mean, you've got to go out and nothing's changing with that football field. You got to go do it out there. So, although it is a great luxury, I just want our guys to understand. I told them yesterday, I'm like, hey, we got all these sexy facilities, but understand there's nothing sexy about the process. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, pain to get to where you want to go, and hopefully at the end of it, there's a payoff.
That's so much.
Say that again, Jason. We lost you there for a second.
Jesse, why did you like that so much?
I liked it because not only did I think it was authentic, I think it was the most passionate thing it sounded like he said yesterday. It felt like it was the exact same message that he probably shared in the locker room with all the players as they came in, and they all were in awe of how cool it was compared to last year. It was like a moment of realness, I felt like, from LaFleur, and I think it's you don't get it doesn't happen every season or every couple of years where the locker room gets this massive renovation. Like, this is once every couple of decades they do something like this, and to experience that and kind of feel like what that experience was for the players. I just thought it was a really cool, I guess pretty dead on in the locker room kind of moment that we all got to experience that Matt LaFleur shared with us yesterday. It was cool.
Yeah, it pains me to say this, but I full-heartedly agree. Bryan, one of my favorite things is because McCarthy used to do this all the time too with us, when he would deliver to us the message he delivered to you guys. Because you could feel when he was doing it too, you could feel it start to kind of crescendo. Like, it's almost like he forgot he was talking to us knuckleheads. They felt like he was talking to you guys again. And you could feel it. Like, there's nothing sexy about the process. Like, you knew that LaFleur was quoting himself and what he had said to these guys yesterday. And I actually remarked to Matt after we had our interruption with the alert alarm going off on everybody's iPhone. I was curious, how far he thought he'd come in that messaging. Because if we're being honest, as a rookie head coach, probably wasn't very good. And now it does seem like he's kind of found his rhythm with that. Mike McCarthy invested a ton of time in wanting to have really good messaging. But how much as a player does that stuff, obviously execution and all the stuff you do out here on the field is what matters most. But that from a player's perspective, how much does that resonate for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think how you deliver the message and kind of the meaning behind it has a big role on guys. I think if you just come in and kind of repeat the same thing time and time again, guys can tune it out. And having the locker room and the facilities, when they get redone like that, guys, they're in awe by it. Obviously, I saw the video of it, and I was in awe by it. I was like, man, how lucky! Like those facilities, that locker room is ridiculous. But I think kind of his messaging that he gave, like not just the answer to you guys, but I think his message was probably very similar to the players, which I think is fantastic, is spot on. Like, I mean, it really is, and that's kind of probably where I don't know this for a fact, but I'm sure, because I thought he was fine his rookie year as a head coach, so to speak, his rookie season as a head coach. I thought he was fine. I mean, obviously, there's always room to grow, and I'm sure he would say that as well. But I'm sure that's where he probably feels like he has improved a lot as a head coach is how he delivers his message and what he wants to get across to the team. And he's probably felt like he's had to do that with the youth of the team, right? Like he's probably felt like he's had to step up in that department because of the youth of the team. And a message like that is big because like when you have a young team and you have a facility like that and a new locker room and it's that, I mean, I don't want to say, but it's that gaudy and it's that nice and like guys feel a certain way about it. But the message is like, hey, like this doesn't get us anything. Like at the end of the day, like the organization has given you guys this, whether we deserve it or not, this is not going to make us perform better. Regardless of what you may think, this isn't going to get us wins. It's not going to make teams perform worse against us. It's not going to make them feel any certain way about us. The results are going to be earned on the field. Like that's what it is. And that's a great message by him, in my opinion, because that's where results get delivered is on the field. It doesn't get delivered in the locker room, regardless of what you may think. It gets earned on the field where they're at right now. So like I think that's probably as a coach where he probably felt like or feels like he has grown the most is his impact of when he delivers these messages to the team and his confidence in that standpoint. Because the X's and O's part, I think he's to me personally, and I still say this, I could care less what anyone else thinks. I think there's not many better than him. So like to the X's and O's, I don't think there's many better than him. So I think you look at where he feels like he probably needs to improve, if there's any, and this is me just taking a guess. I have no idea. It would be how can I make my message resonate? And that's probably a good idea of what it is, because now he's able to repeat it back to you guys like Mike used to do.
Well, and let's be honest, Brian, right? The old NFL saying, it doesn't just apply to the tight ends that are going through blocking drills about 15 feet from you. It goes to everyone. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're not staying the same, right? And if that's the truth for coaches too. And he has, like, let's be honest, offensively, they have some things to improve on last year too. You and Tausch always bring this up, the whole narrative of we were sloppy. Him talking about being sloppy down the stretch of the season, or him talking about how we got to win our one-on-ones and have guys get open. No, that's what the offense is designed to do for you, is to get guys open, right? So he knew he had work, as well as a play caller and as a schemer. But to your point, I do think that if we're being honest, the area where he has probably grown the most is in terms of his ability to kind of connect with his guys. He's always been a player's coach, you say, right? But he just his messaging, I would bet, is really important.
Yeah, for sure. And like you're right. I mean, like you hit it. Like, yes, the ability to scheme and get guys and like get players open and do those things. Like, yes, that's X's and O's for sure. But there are things that dictate that as well, right? Like there's other factors to scheming certain concepts, certain plays. There's factors that go into that. Does one concept set up the other concept? Can we run that concept? Is this in the playbook right now that we can run this concept that then opens up this? Like, there's certain things that if you look at last year that they weren't doing a bunch of, that we're so used to seeing out of LaFleur's offense that they weren't doing, that why we were asking a lot of the questions, like, hey, why weren't those really quick play action passes that would go for 15 yards that were so easy completions? Why weren't they doing those? Well, because there weren't a lot of play action passes to begin with, because of the way the run game was going, because of how dynamic it was with Jacobs just running basic downhill duo type runs. Well, maybe we see more of that this year, and how the run game evolves a little bit, right? Like, so there's a process to things and how he's going to go about it this year, or at least I would imagine he's going to. But yeah, I think there's ways and levels to scheming and X's and O's and all those things. And we can point the finger at the coach because he is the play caller and things of that nature. And then we can go to Steno because he's the offensive coordinator. We can point fingers at those things. And believe me, as a player sitting in these meetings and you get presented the game plan, you can do all those things. But I know sitting in those seats, being presented the material, at the end of the day, if you can't execute the material that's getting put in front of you, then you can't build off the concepts that they want to get to eventually. So if you can't, the material that they give you, if you can't get that right, then they can't build off that then. And you can't go to level 2 off the material then to play off of that. So that's kind of what we saw last year a little bit, which is why I felt like at times it felt like the offense was stuck in gear 1. Right, that's kind of the feeling I felt, but I feel this we could see a different rendition. I truly feel that way, and with the talk of the more involvement of the tight ends, when you hear more involvement of the tight ends, it feels like more play action. When you hear more 12 personnel, it feels like more play action. It feels like more under center runs and things like that. So. We'll see how that goes, and obviously this is so early in training camp, it's hard to tell. But LaFleur is very good at evolving. He's very good at evolving, and I know Hackett's on the other side of the ball. I get that, but that doesn't mean Hackett can't help, right? Like Hackett was there year 1 when this whole thing kicked off. He was there year 1 when this whole thing got installed year 1 and it popped off year 1 and we got this thing rolling. He was there year 2. He was there year 3. Like this thing, he was there when this whole thing started to evolve and it got rolling. So there's no reason why he can't give pointers and help LaFleur with this dynamic running back now that we have to get this thing pointed in the direction that he envisions it. So I'm excited for it, and obviously with Steno too. Steno's very good at the run game as well, and how he can help LaFleur get this thing rolling the way LaFleur wants it to go with the run game and play action and all that as well. So I'm excited to see what direction it takes.
All right, we need to kick off the 11 o'clock hour with Bryan as our cousin sub of the day, and the guy that's going to obviously be the trigger man for all this stuff that we're talking about offensively. Matt LaFleur can design all the plays he wants, and he can change up all the personnel groups he wants, and Josh Jacobs can run the football productively again. But it all comes down to the quarterback, especially in the crucial moments. And Jordan Love talked yesterday, and I thought he had some interesting things to say. We'll get to those on the other side when we kick off the 11 o'clock hour. That will begin in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaukee County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango. Bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Brust and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde Tausch starts now. And it starts where the offense starts, with the quarterback. Now, Bryan, I know you and I have had this conversation, and Tausch and I really have had this conversation on just about every show we have. Except maybe the Madison Money Guy show that we have. When is that on, Jesse? Saturdays?
Yeah,
and
Retirement
Sundays?
Income Strategies, 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN. Yeah.
We have not talked about it on that show, but the fact that Jordan Love, he didn't in any way have a bad season. No one thinks that. No one thinks he's a bad quarterback. What I think the feeling is that based on what we saw to end the 2023 season, we thought he would be better and more consistent and take a bigger step. Anybody who wants to have the debate, regression, step back, no step forward, minimal step forward, whatever, however you want to frame that, that's up to you. I don't really care. But because I know there were fans that were very upset that we would suggest that he regressed. But the bottom line is that he was not as good as they needed him to be. And I think what I like about Jordan, as I've said many times, is that I think he takes enough pride and puts enough pressure on himself and is demanding enough of himself that he would agree he wasn't good enough. Injuries, drop passes, all that other stuff notwithstanding, he still needed to be better. And so it all starts with him. And Bryan, having played with Rodgers for as long as you did, like, if you have that guy, it's just different. And as of right now, Jordan Love has not shown that he is that type of guy. Now, Tucker Kraft said yesterday that he's the man and he's going to lead us to a Super Bowl. He didn't say necessarily this year, but Tucker Kraft did say that. But if Jordan Love becomes that version of himself, what does that do for a team as a whole?
I mean, listen, I think that Jordan Love gives, I think what Tucker Kraft is trying to get across, that they're extremely, extremely confident with Jordan Love at the helm, right? Like, I think that's, I listened to a little bit of the interview, and I think they feel extremely confident with Jordan Love at the helm. And personally, looking back at last year, right? Like, I'm just going to zoom in on last year. I'm going to take the year prior out of it because obviously he performed really well his first year as a starter, right? And you look at the last half and it was phenomenal. But we look at last year and, obviously the injuries were part of it, like, and kind of the, the Philly game and the Jacksonville game and kind of the up and down of the injuries and how that played out. That obviously was a factor. And then he kind of came back and he played really well for quite a bit of stretch, right? And then kind of at the end, things kind of like just tapered and kind of went, I don't want to say like just completely south, but they just kind of like tapered. And that was the performance of the entire team, I felt like, offensively, not defensively, but offensively. And then we went into the playoffs and we all remember what happened against Philly. So I look at last year as a whole, and I don't want to say he played poorly because I don't think that's like a don't think that's true. I don't think he played bad. I just think from what we saw, like his first season to what we saw last year, there's a big expectation, right? Like there's a big expectation, and it just fell short of that expectation last year. And there obviously there are factors, and you mentioned the injury and the drops and things like that. But going into this season, I think that expectation remains the same. And I think the guys in the locker room have that same expectation, right? Like, I don't think that expectation just dropped. I think the expectation remains very high. I have that same expectation of him as well, because I think he can play to that level consistently. I really do. I don't think it was a fluke. I don't think it was a mistake. I just think factors of, I'm not giving excuses, but injuries do play a factor. I don't really play a bunch into drops. I don't really look into that much, but I think the injuries, I think that's a part of it. I do think at times he didn't play as well as he should have. I think the turnovers were a big part of it, were a big part of that, his numbers, so to speak, right? Like, I think that was a part of why the statistics weren't what we were used to. And then I think the emergence of Josh Jacobs putting up the numbers he did chipped into that, right? Like, I don't think if Josh Jacobs doesn't have the season he does, I think Jordan Love is asked to do a lot more, and I think those numbers look different as well. So, like, I think you factor all that together and you get the season you do. But I don't think his expectation level in that locker room, and I think for me personally, I think from a lot of people outside the building, I think expect him to have a big season. And quite frankly, I think he will. I think with the weapons that were added, I think with, with the way the offense may be adjusted, I don't think changed, but adjusted to mentality-wise and, with maybe play action game and things like that, I think it's going to be a little more tailored to what he was used to in his first year starting. I think we're going to see some bigger numbers. I just do. And I think that he is going to perform to a higher level. I think that first year of making $55 million a year, I think that pressure's gone now. That he's no longer like the highest paid QB or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever that stress is gone now. It's time to just play. And now we can just go out there and be Jordan Love and play to his best ability. There's no comparison in my mind, like trying to be like Aaron Rodgers or be like Brett Favre. Like that's junk. Like he shouldn't even think about that. Like, don't try to be like Aaron Rodgers. No one's going to be like Aaron Rodgers. Like, you shouldn't try to be like Aaron Rodgers. What Aaron did, no one's going to be able to duplicate that. Like, that's why he's a Hall of Famer, right? Like, you got to be the best version of Jordan Love. Be what the Green Bay Packers need right now, and that's the best version of Jordan Love. And if he's able to do that, this team can go very far. Like, and that is the only thing he needs to focus on. And that's what this team needs from him, and that's what the guys in the locker room need from him. And if he's able to do that, man, I think this offense can perform very well.
And Jordan Love thinks he's ready to do that. Here's what he said yesterday about being primed for that opportunity.
For me personally, just continue to improve my playmaking ability, continue to find those instances when, defense might be winning, having everybody covered up to find ways to scramble, extend plays, use my legs, different instances, move in the pocket, and just keep extending plays. But I think the biggest thing is just that consistency, trying to hit on everything. Taking care of the ball is a huge part of that. Understanding where I need to go with the ball and not forcing it at times, forcing reads and just ball placement accuracy, but just being the best player I can be on every play.
Bryan, it sounds like he's taking your advice, being the best version of himself, being the best player he can be.
Yeah, and like you kind of hear what he's talking about, like, and he makes really like note of the mistakes that he kind of made last year, right? Like, he's talking about ball placement and not forcing things and moving around in the pocket and taking what defenses are giving him if things are covered up. Like, those are things that he watched when he was watching Aaron play that Aaron always did, right? Like, and like I just got done saying, he doesn't need to be Aaron Rodgers, but those are just basic things that he learned watching Aaron, right? Like, and those are things that, like, people can say all quarterbacks should do, but not all quarterbacks do them, right? Like it's so easy to say, but not everyone does them. And like he know because he did it his first year, so he knows exactly how it feels and he knows how to do it. I just feel like last year he got out of his element a little bit from doing that, and he did force things at times, and he didn't take what the defense gave him at times, and he got out of his normal rhythm and routine at times as a quarterback, and he made mistakes. And I think this year he's going to get back to being himself, and I think that's why like he's going to have a really productive year, like because I think he's going to get back to being the Jordan Love that we're all used to seeing. He's going to get back to, playing his style of football, and obviously staying healthy and moving around is obviously a part of that, right? Like you can't run if you got a sprained MCL. Like that's very difficult to do. I understand that. Like that's important. Or if you got a bad hip flexor or something like that, that's tough to do. But if he's healthy and he's able to move around the pocket and buy time and manipulate rushers and manipulate coverages, yeah, he can do some really special things. And if he's accurate with the football and making correct reads, like we're going to see the exact same thing we saw his first year. And that was very, very fun to watch. And then you add the run game in on that. It's a tough offense to stop.
He talked about some of the other things he needs to do. We'll hear from him coming up next. The Packers continue to roll on with these ramp-up practices at Ray Nitschke Field. A lot of routes on air. They're really dominating the air so far during this drill.
Air doesn't stand a chance against us.
I really don't. They're blowing them out. We will get back to what's going on at Ray Nitschke Field, and we'll get back to what Jordan Love had to say next. Live with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde Tausch.
This
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Looking for the best spot to hang out at the Wisconsin State Fair? Head to Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill on the corner of Grandstand Avenue and 2nd Street. Enjoy the best music lineup at the fair, plus crowd favorites like French onion cheese curds and meatloaf and mashed bomb pops. Join the Taste Great Less Filling contest daily at 3 p.m. to win Brews tickets, and don't miss the Miller Lite Toast from 5:30 to 7:15. Catch 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee broadcasting live on August 4th and 5th with chances to win swag, prizes, and more. For more details, visit lefts.com, and we'll see you at Left's Miller Lite Sports Bar and Grill.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Windows, windows, windows. You hear all about everyone's windows and how theirs are the greatest. I'll tell you, our windows are the best as well. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I'm right there with you. We've taken the most trusted brand in windows, Pella, and paired them with such an outstanding business that we will deliver results to you at your home. Siding Unlimited has won Pella's prestigious 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited is the company to install your new windows.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Grid Life is up next July 23rd through the 25th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Hey, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Joe. To what do we owe the honor?
Don't you have CEO-type things you need to be doing?
Or Joe might be here because he's been doing some CEO-type things that he thinks we should know about.
Bingo! You guessed it, Monica.
What do you need us to do, Joe?
Well, I'm here because I want to present an idea to you.
Cool. What is it?
I've been talking with finance companies and was able to make a deal for 18-month financing at 0% interest with a $750 or more purchase.
And your idea was to offer 18-month 0% financing to all of our customers?
It's subject to credit approval, but yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How long will we be able to do it?
From July 1st to July 31st.
0% will let people buy diamonds that were on their bucket list.
I know what I'm buying.
I'm going on a shopping spree. I'm going to have more jewelry than the Queen of England
England.
So you like the idea?
We don't like it. We love it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
See you in my sweatshirt, dancing around that college bar. These days I don't know where you are, but I get to keep these memories forever.
Practice rolls on from Ray Nitschke Field in Green Bay. Had a brief little rain shower, but that was short. It's gone now, and getting into a little 11 on 11 at full speed here, but not in pads as the ramp-up practices continue. Another one tomorrow, day off on Saturday, and the first padded practice scheduled for Sunday. Jesse, you heard something else yesterday, which, frankly, I didn't hear live. I was talking, I think, to Bo Melton or to Matthew Golden when Josh Jacobs was the subject of an interesting thing that caught your ear. Is that right?
Yeah, so I guess I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to hear a very cliche Jordan Love clip on what does he do to take the next step next year, or do you want to hear something kind of saucy from Josh Jacobs on leadership and saying what needs to be said?
Well, you seem to be down on the cliches from the quarterbacks, so I'm going to definitely pick Josh Jacobs. Bryan, are you in agreement?
Yep, I'll take the saucy one.
I did kind of want to play this game. Like, if we played the Jordan Love clip, like how many cliches did he say in one clip? And we could probably, it's like 7 or 8.
You're not very nice, Jesse.
I mean, one step at a time. We're doing the best we can. You know how they all go. Josh Jacobs was much better. So, yes, I'm going to play the Josh Jacobs clip for you. This was pretty good from yesterday.
I feel like, one thing about being a leader, it's not always easy, and it's not always doing what's comfortable. Sometimes you got to ruffle feathers. Sometimes we got to hold each other accountable, and that's something that I try to do. I try to say the things that people are afraid to say, and that's whether I'm talking to X or I'm talking to Jordan. It doesn't really matter. Everybody got to be held to a certain type of standard, even myself. So for me, man, I feel like the greatest teams are the teams that's the most closest, but also the teams that hold each other the most accountable. So that's what we try to do, man. We trying to set the standard high. And I feel like to be able to do what we want to do, what we say we want to do, we got to live what we say. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Bryan, having been a leader, yeah, Jesse, I don't disagree with you. But be nice to Jordan. He's working toward being more engaging and less cliched.
He's a very nice fella.
Bryan, having been a leader and talking about accountability, what did you make of what Josh Jacobs had to say there?
I like it. Yeah, I like it because there needs to be guys that do that in a locker room. You know what I mean? There needs to be voices like that within a locker room. And whether it's 1 or 2 or 3 guys, there needs to be voices like that are heard. Right. And I'm not saying that every single guy needs to do that, because at some point, some of those voices aren't at their level to be respected enough within that locker room to be heard like that. Right. Like they're like I've always said, there's there's a hierarchy within the locker room where guys can speak like that, where it's respected, right? Like, and not everyone has the same pull that, say, a Jacobs or an X or a Love has when they speak like that. But the thing is, guys can go to them and talk to them and tell them things that then they can speak on. And that's where, if you're able to have guys like that are able to speak out and they're able to hold people accountable, and there is no there's no issue where guys are able to have dialogue and do those things, and it's a healthy environment, it's a healthy dialogue, right? And it's not a negative atmosphere, right? Where it doesn't become a negative situation. That's a good thing for a team, right? That you need to be able to have that, where if it turns into a negative thing, right, then that's where things start to get, it could become a problem, but it doesn't sound like that's where this intention is. You need that on a football team, because if everyone just sits there and allows everything to happen and guys get away with things that shouldn't be happening and everyone just sits there quiet pat, that's a problem, right? You can't have that. You need to be able to have guys that stand up and speak out when things aren't right and hold guys accountable. And it sounds like that's going to be the case, right? And you need to have your leaders do that. And it sounds, obviously, with Jacobs and McKinney and Jordan Love, those are the guys you want to be able to do that. And to me, this is good for the team. This is very good.
And Bryan, we talked to Josh during the offseason program too, and he was quasi-apologetic for kind of the way he framed we needed a true number one wide receiver thing. And after he got done saying it, I was like, well, in fairness to you, Josh, they did draft a wide receiver in the first round, and he let out this big belly laugh. I said, that's true. So sometimes what he's talking about there, and look, I know that he said he went straight to all those guys and said, look, man, I was not meant to take a shot at you. But right now, where you guys are all at, you aren't that guy. So take what I said as a challenge to become that guy. I mean, he did that before the draft, before they picked Golden. And that goes to the point of saying things that are uncomfortable and guys don't want to hear. And you know this, like whether it's, Abby getting after you for leaving those muddy cleats that you walk the dog in a bad spot or whatever else. It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. And I think Josh Jacobs has a way about it that even if it's something that's harsh but constructive, he knows how to deliver it. And isn't that what you want from leaders? Are guys that they care about you, they're coming at you from the right place, even if it's not something that's praising you, it's something that's saying, hey, you got to get your blank together, let's go here.
100%. Listen, this league and the business of the NFL it's harsh, and you've been covering it for a long time. Like this is not a and you want guys to be comfortable, and you want guys to be happy, and you want guys to succeed. But this isn't making sure everyone is happy and everyone is feeling like they're the number one guy. Like that, well, that's just not the case. That's not the case, right? Like that can't be the case. Not everyone is the number one guy. So simply what Jacobs is doing there, I mean, it's very clear. And you said it, he's challenging that room. Well, someone has to be the number one then. Like challenging someone, step out and be the number one guy. And that's really what that was a call out to that room that someone needs to elevate themselves and be the number one. Like everyone says, after he said that, all those, all the guys, in the room, they tweeted something or whatever they call it now, posted something. Well, okay, if that's the way you feel, then elevate and show it, right? Like it's not trying to take digs at people. Like that's not the thing. But each room needs to step up. Like if this is the best we want to be a one and done knockout in the first round, then okay, then this is where we're at, right? Like if that's good enough, then okay, then that's where we're at. But I want better. Other guys on this team want better, and we're going to push. And that's okay to have guys that want to push. And who's going to come along for the ride? And that's really what it is. And there's no problem with Jacobs being that guy because he can back it up. That's the thing. When you got a guy that can back it up and be that guy that can push and do it in a constructive way and challenge, and he's not being negative. Right, he's not being negative and calling guys trash or calling them bad players. He's not doing any of that. It's a simple challenge, and it's being constructive, and it's almost in a positive manner where it's challenging guys to be a better version of themselves. And to me, you need guys like that in the locker room, and I like it. I really like it, and for me, I think this is only a positive for that locker room. We had guys like that, and they were great for the locker room, man. Obviously there were a lot of vocal guys, but like Sitton and TJ were fantastic. Tay, once he got a little bit older, he was one of those guys. James Jones was one of those guys. Obviously Aaron was the vocal guy. Aaron was very vocal. But then you look at the defensive side of the ball, there were a bunch of those guys. Like Tremont Williams was one of those guys when Wood was there. Wood was silent, but when he spoke, everybody listened. It was when Wood spoke, everyone shut up and just listened to what Wood has to say because it carries, you could hear it in Chicago when Wood spoke. So you just knew when guys talked, certain guys just carry weight, and every locker room needs to have those guys, and it sounds like Jacobs is going to be one of those guys, and it's very valuable to a locker room to have guys that hold people accountable.
Jesse's had a really good show. He made a 100% the right call on pivoting to what Josh Jacobs had to say yesterday, with Bryan giving us such great insight into what leadership looks like. Won't Ellie is next, so I'm assuming that Jesse will not be able to keep this momentum going.
Just getting better every day, Jason. One at a time. Long journey starts with a single step.
Just doing your 111.
Yep.
Even though it's 1/3 on today's show. All right, well, Jesse will take over with Wonelli as practice rolls on. 11 on 11. As Tausch likes to say. Wonelli is next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Ready to escape to a resort that has it all? The Island Resort and Casino is your total thrill getaway, where championship golf, a luxury spa, world-class gaming, and epic entertainment come together. Tee it up at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Unwind at the Drift Spa. Dine, play, win, repeat. Go all in on an unforgettable getaway. Book your total experience today at islandresortandcasino.com.
The Brewers return from the break with a jam-packed week of action. First up, a summer battle with the Marlins, July 25th through the 27th. Come for the action, stay for Pokemon Go Day on Friday the 25th, and a Bryce Terang bobblehead on Saturday the 26th, presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Then, it's time to battle back when the Crew takes on the Cubs for 3 games starting on July 28th. Get tickets for a week of Brewers action you don't want to miss at Brewers.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Bryan Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Real Estate Services, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Tony Wendorf & Associates, trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us today at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Jesse works to keep his hot streak going for today's show with a strong Whoa, Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde Tausch.
Speaking of hot streaks, the Milwaukee Brewers, best team in baseball again. Brewers win, Cubs lose yesterday. Tigers got swept by the Pirates. The Brewers back in sole... Yeah, thank you, Skeens. Brewers back in sole possession of the best record in Major League Baseball with a day off today before they play the Miami Marlins over the weekend, including the special 3:10 first pitch tomorrow with the Alumni Home Run Derby. Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez among those participating.
Norman Thomas?
No, I don't think he's in a fielder. Prince, not anyone else. Bryan Bulaga, I wanted to ask you a question. Not about. I know
Bryan Bulaga's in the home run contest.
He is not. He is not. I'm sure he. You seem like a softball player.
No.
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 All right.
I played baseball. But I don't do softball anymore.
You feel like I feel like you would be like a good beer league softball kind of guy. Batting cleanup, hitting dingers. Maybe
Would mess up my golf swing.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Nelly! It's a very fair point. Here's what I wanted to ask you, not about the Brewers. I know you're a big fan. You want to break them down. But the Brewers are a very young team that has now achieved the highest level that they can in Major League Baseball as the best team in baseball. It's different when you're a young team that hasn't achieved postseason experience or success the level of some of the other top contenders. And you play now with a target on your back as opposed to being viewed across the league as the underdog. Have you had an experience in your playing days as part of a young team that went from being the underdog to having a target on your back? And what were some of the challenges, if you ever did experience that those teams experienced that the Brewers may be facing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I think it was more so I mean, I felt that way my junior year at Iowa, like when we had no business really being ranked where we were ranked, when we were ranked so high towards the end of that year, and I felt like we were being more targeted and we would be the ones targeting the higher teams, right? Like it was always at Iowa, we were chasing those, higher ranked teams that were in the top 10. And then at that point in time, we were the top 10 team. And it felt like teams were giving us their best shot every single time when it was normally flipped around and we would be the ones going to Penn State and going to Michigan and going to Ohio State and giving them our best shot. It felt flipped around. So, I understand that, but for the Brewers, like, I wouldn't even worry about that. They're not supposed to be there, right? They're not supposed to be in that situation. So if I'm them, I would block that out. Like, they're not supposed to be better than the Dodgers. They're not supposed to be this team. Like, they don't have that payroll. They don't have that pressure. Like, just keep playing, right? Like, who cares about, where they're the best team in baseball right now? Like, that doesn't even matter. Like, just keep playing. Don't worry about the expectations of what they're doing right now. Like, just play ball and don't worry about where you're ranked or where you're at in the NL or like just play. Like, you're going to get to the postseason. Where it's going to be is where it's going to be, because you're going to have to meet those big dogs eventually, and where it's going to matter. And that's where this is going to end up meeting. The rubber's going to meet the road, and that's where this thing's going to really, at the end of the day, where this is all going to, come down to. So right now, just continue to play. Don't worry about those other things, and just continue to enjoy this run that you're on, because at the end of the day, in the postseason is where this thing's going to actually matter.
Bryan, did you think it helped you guys in 2010 when you were a rookie that you were the underdog the whole way through? You had to win your last two to even get into the playoffs. You had to get Deshaun Jackson with that punt return to keep you guys alive in the playoff hunt. That the week you guys lost in New England with Flinney at the quarterback position, and then you guys were basically playing playoff games for the last several weeks of the regular season. You didn't have the target on your back. Nobody, other than maybe you guys being the team that none of those other teams wanted to see in the playoffs, especially Atlanta. Did that help you guys, you think?
I think so. Like, we just looked at it as just play, and we treated every week as like essentially a must-win game, right? Like, that's how, at least that's what the locker room vibe was. That was the messaging from Coach McCarthy, is every week is a playoff game, and no one was really looking at us, at least how, that was. I mean, as a rookie, I had no idea, right? Like, I just kind of looked at it as our record is what it is. I see what the other records are of the teams. I see where the predicted seedings are. We were out of it at that point in time. So it was just like, hey, let's just keep trying to win games and let's see where the chips fall. So, like, no one really expected us to get there. There wasn't all the pressure in the world to like, hey, we couldn't choke, like lose so many games and we choked our way out of the playoffs. It was, hey, if we win, we could get in. And that was kind of the way guys were looking at it, and we got it done. And like, play the Giants and then play the Bears at the end and get in. And it was kind of that underdog mentality that we just play our game, don't have to worry about having any target on our back, because no one really expected us to be there. And that was a fun role to play, because after that, we were never really looked at that besides until we went to Atlanta, really. I mean, that was the last time we were really, I think, looked at as an underdog, was that. Because I think at Philly, it was pretty close. If you looked at, I think the odds. And then after that, it was Atlanta, we were dogs, and then in Chicago, I think it was pretty even.
Yep, you're right. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly!
All right, I'm going to tread carefully here.
Oh, dear.
It wasn't just Green Bay Packers coaches and players who were speaking with the media yesterday. Big Ten Media Day took place out in Las Vegas, and Wisconsin
Tausch?
Badgers head coach Luke Fickell was at the podium yesterday afternoon. He addressed the standard at the University of Wisconsin.
Oh, boy.
Here it is.
Last year was not the standard, right? And it's pretty obvious to be able to say. And And really, we're talking about the way that we finished last year. That's not the standard. That's not the expectation by any ways. I was not brought here thinking that that's in any way what it is that we expect at the University of Wisconsin. But I'm not here to dwell upon last year either. But what last year does do is it gives us an opportunity to be able to self-reflect. It gives us an opportunity to recognize things that we need to continue to be able to change. And I think that's what was most important as we attacked December and January for us in our program.
I hear that from head coach Luke Fickell, and I say Bryan Bulaga better watch out for Saturday, October 11th, because Wisconsin's on a mission this year, coming for the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, the Illinois Fighting Illini, and anyone else in their way in the Big Ten. We're going to get back to resetting the standard this year. I love that yesterday.
Oh, gosh. Well, I will say at least he's speaking the truth, because as far as I know, Wisconsin football has always been a really, really good program, right? I mean, that was always, when I played at Iowa, that was always the game that I always looked to as a rival game, as like a standard game, right? Like I always looked at Iowa, Wisconsin, very similar programs. It was always a good measuring stick game because Wisconsin was always a good team. They were always ranked inside normally the top 20. It was a good game to go play, and it was a trophy game, so it was a very intense game. So yeah, like the standard of Wisconsin football right now is well below that. Obviously, I mean, I'm not misspeaking with that, right? I don't think
the standard maintains the standard. The point that Fickell was saying is he recognizes last year was not the standard. There is no new standard. We're getting back to
as good as Iowa.
We're getting back to the Barry Alvarez standard, the Bielema standard.
Okay. We got to relax with the Alvarez standard too. Like just relax getting back to the Alvarez. You got to get to a bowl game before we start talking the Alvarez standard. Come on.
Yeah. Got to get to the Paul Chris standard.
Yeah, come on now. You're talking about Bielema and Alvarez standard. You got to get to Chris, and then you can start to work backwards. Just come on.
No, that's the entire point is not resetting that expectation. The expectation is to.
I thought you were going to tread lightly.
Yeah, I'm not anymore. The expectation is to contend for conference championships and to be relevant on the national stage. And right now, they haven't been doing that. And I love that Luke Fickell straight up addressed and said that's not good enough for what we're doing here. He owns it.
Jesse,
he knows it. We're going into this season with that expectation.
Jesse, what happens when they don't reach that standard again this year?
Then there start to be some other conversations potentially. If there isn't visible improvement or anything you can hang your hat on as measurable growth and success toward that achieving that standard, then you start to have some other conversations.
What is that to you?
Really, it's kind of the same thing that I said going into last season. Signature victory against a top contending team in the Big Ten or Alabama. So Alabama's on the schedule in Week 3. You get a win in Tuscaloosa, narrative changes. You're
not winning. You're not winning that game. So
I'm not saying that we are, but contending or pulling up. I mean, there's a lot of good teams on the schedule this year. Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. I don't think I'm forgetting any to the west of us. No. So if you beat any of those great teams in the Big Ten, that's something you can hang your hat on. Of course, taking care of business against Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa is pivotal. Illinois got Bielema. There's some juice to that game now. They're on the same level, I'd say, as those other three teams. You got to win some of those games, and you got to contend against the big dogs and preferably win one so that you can say there is measurable growth and improvement. We see where the vision of this thing is going.
Okay. So 4 wins, 5 wins?
I'm starting to like you.
I'm being dead honest. How many wins?
No, you got to get, nothing short of 6 wins is the expectation. If we're going to the Wisconsin standard, like Luke Fickell just said, you cannot be ineligible for a bowl game back-to-back years. That's unacceptable.
Time out. The Wisconsin standard was 9 wins always. So, let's just start there. That was the Wisconsin standard. It was 9 wins. So there it is. I'll just tell you that right now. It was 9 wins.
Yeah,
I'll just tell you that right now.
9 wins would be lovely this year. Not expecting 9 wins.
Winning 9 games.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh look! Look! We're out of time. Dang.
I thought this went well. Yeah, it's gonna. I think we have a promo with Matt LePay, the father that never wanted to be your father, saying that the schedule is daunting. We'll see. Maybe they will surprise a lot of people. Maybe they'll go down to Tuscaloosa and win, and Bryan Bulaga will have to eat his words. But I don't think so. We'll wrap things up next with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th.
Turio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax, and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS says there is over $330 billion that is delinquent. Are you in that number? Many of the clients we see get notices that are wrong, but they don't know what to do. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. The issue won't go away by doing nothing. You may be able to fix the issue if you act in time. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. Don't let them wipe out your bank account or retirement plan. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting. We understand how stressful this can be. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. That's 844-222-1192 or rightchoicetax.us.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with zero sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S. And they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles and a leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, we are way over time because Jesse was talking big about Badger football and Bryan Bulaga had to put him in his place.
Sorry.
Bryan will be back during the Tausch summer sabbatical again on Wednesday next week as a cousin sub again. We got Strofe coming in tomorrow. We got a cavalcade of great cousin subs for you all week and a half long.
Thank you.
Bryan, there's the horn. Almost done with practice. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate you.
Yep, appreciate it.
I will talk to Bryan later today on the Homer Hour. You can stay tuned for all of our programming across the course of the day. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road or visit PellaWI.com today.
Let your car shine without spending a dime. Tsunami Express Car Wash is Milwaukee's fan-favorite car wash for a next-level clean. And right now, your first wash is free when you sign up online. That's our $25 top wash, packed with gloss, protection, and free bonus perks like vacuums and mat cleaners. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, New Berlin, and Mount Pleasant, it's easier than ever to get a winning wash with Milwaukee's favorite car wash team. Get your first free wash today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The sport is perceived. Do you agree, or if not, do you have any other possibilities?
I think that's a completely safe assessment and accurate. And it's funny enough. On the podcast we were doing for my Cheap Heat wrestling program that I do every week on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 on Sirius, we were literally obviously no knowledge of what's going on. We just started having a conversation about Roman Reigns and all-time greats and where people end up. And it crossed my mind today. I said, I have to be honest, when I think of Mount Rushmores, the only two that I'm sure of when I say it, the only two that I'm sure of are Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Mm-hmm. The next two slots to me, there are so many people it could be. The only two you cannot move, in my opinion, are Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. And obviously, Terry Bollea, the man, has had issues over the last several years that some people would say, I don't want to include him. As I lashed out at my co-host who said that, I said, well, guess what? That would make your Mount Rushmore stupid. Because, listen, adding in our personal feelings about people, that's subjective. But we cannot argue with what the history is. And you just laid that out eloquently. The entire thing as we know it is different because the character Hulk Hogan exists and thrived in the 80s. Whether you want to credit Terry Bollea or whether you want to credit Vince McMahon, it really doesn't matter. I'm not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks in pro wrestling if Hulk Hogan doesn't come along.
Peter Rosenberg, 880 ESPN New York, here with us. Don Hahn and Rosenberg every afternoon, 3 to 7 Eastern. Of course, also Cheap Heat Podcast, which I am a regular listener, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube, here with us on Joe and Q on ESPN Radio. Peter, do you remember your earliest memory of Hulk Hogan, like where you first saw him and you're like, whoa, I got to watch that dude?
So, most of my earliest memories of professional wrestling are of Hulk Hogan. I almost am remiss that I'm like so generic in that regard, but WrestleMania 3 for me is absolutely everything. So the lead up to that, I'm pretty confident, Zaz, that I saw him, I don't think I certainly didn't watch WrestleMania 2 live, but I remember seeing the highlights of Hulk Hogan in the cage with King Kong Bundy. And then of course, I know it's not the first thing I saw, but the thing that will be forever etched in my brain, I have artwork of it in my home, is the Piper's Pit, where it all ended for Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant as a babyface. That moment, sorry, not Piper's Pit, it was Jake the Snake's Pit, and Piper was there. And that moment for me was everything. The heel turn for Andre the Giant and the story that then followed with him and Hogan, to me, is the most impactful story maybe that ever was told, and that's probably my earliest memory. But WrestleMania 3, Hogan, Andre, it's as big as it gets in sort of my wrestling brain.
Yeah, literally my first name is Andre. So I've been called Andre the Giant my whole life. So, yeah, that was significant for me as well.
Hold on, how tall are you?
I am not as tall as Andre the Giant. I am 6'1". I'm 6'1", and my weight does not start with a 6 either. But among normal
Don't worry,
humans.
neither did Andre's, unless you asked Hulk Hogan. In which case that weight would go up every time you talked about it.
Well, okay. I'm laughing now, but getting a little bit more serious. You alluded to it a second ago. How did the decisions and the controversies that Terry Bollea has been associated with in the last, couple of decades, how did that affect how Hulk Hogan was viewed, and how does it affect his long-term legacy?
Oh, man. It affected the way he was viewed significantly. There's no question. We can't rewrite history, right? The fact of the matter is, over the last couple of years, several years, when Hulk Hogan has come up on my show, it's often been with ridicule attached to it. Maybe I was one of the first feelings I had when I got the news was the sadness of the way things ended. And my wife actually, when I told her the news, the first thing out of her mouth, having observed me talk about this for the last 5 years that I've known her, was she was like, "Oh man, he never got to redeem himself."
Yep.
And it really hit me to hear her say that. I was like, and I was so frustrated because he had the opportunity to, and he never took that opportunity, and that is so disappointing because I don't think, Hulk Hogan is an evil human being. I know it's easy for us to do that. We heard him say horrifying things. But the fact is, I know this doesn't make for good talk radio, but I don't judge people in their worst moment or their best. And I think none of us would want to be judged by that. Terry Bollea made some incredibly disappointing decisions, and maybe most disappointing was the choice to not truly make amends the way he could have. But to me, that is one part of his story. And while it makes this a little bit more bitter, because I think the fact of the matter is there are a lot of fans whose feelings were hurt, black and white, whose feelings were hurt, and other, who just really wish he could have just made a good amends so they could have moved on with it. Nobody wanted to have negative feelings about Hulk Hogan. Right. Who on earth wanted, if you love wrestling even at all, why would you ever want to have negative feelings about Hulk Hogan unless it's in a fun way, saying, he's overrated or he's a bad guy, boo. No one wanted to have actual real negative feelings. So the fact that we were kind of forced to is upsetting and disappointing. I don't think in the long run it will be defining of his legacy, but I do think that asterisk will always be there, and that is unfortunate.
how much, Ric Flair tweeted out about it earlier, and he said really nice things about Hulk. And like you said, it's totally his own doing, the controversy that's been surrounding him the last couple decades. He had a million chances to apologize or whatever. He never took the time to do it. And it bums me out that our last time we see him on television, he gets booed out the building. Like that really, I didn't like that, But again, his own doing. And I'm just hoping that we'll get more tributes like we got from Ric Flair earlier, where, it's also okay to focus on, the joy that this man brought to a lot of our lives for a very long time.
It's really well said. And that moment in LA at the Netflix premiere was a horrible final live moment for Hulk Hogan on television. Now, I think that what we will see over the coming days, weeks, months are going to be tributes that will, wherever Hulk Hogan is right now, he's going to be tapping people being like, I told you I was over, brother. You know what I mean? I think he will be remembered fondly, and I think I say this with no knowledge of what the company's plans are. I would be just shocked, though, if this doesn't end up being mostly just people reminiscing on the level of impact. But you're right. I mean, what a horrible last moment that was. And to your point, just totally his last doing. And then his own doing. And then after that, he goes on McAfee. And when he goes on McAfee and it comes up, he passes the buck again and says, oh, well, it's political. And, everyone sort of rolled their eyes and groaned because, Zaz, we know there are a lot of former wrestlers who have made their political affiliations clear. And those affiliations are often diametrically opposed to a major part of the audience. And those guys still don't get booed.
Yep.
So it wasn't about politics. It was about something much more personal than that. And I wish he had realized that, because that is a really sad way for it to have ended. But I've been trying to think about what they'll do on TV over the next several days. And with SummerSlam just a week away, I think it's going to be overwhelmingly positive and tributes for a guy who ultimately, no matter how we feel about him, if you make a buck in the pro wrestling industry, part of that is because Hulk Hogan was the kind of success that he was.
Yeah. Look, if you're a pro wrestling fan like I am, Peter's got the Cheap Heat podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube, and, of course, on 880 ESPN New York, Don Hahn and Rosenberg, every weekday afternoon, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Peter, excellent job. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for the platform. I appreciate it.
If you're just tuning in now, TMZ reports this morning it is home in Clearwater, Florida. Hulk Hogan passes away at the age of 71. Coming up in a moment, a rift in the locker room in July equals what in September? You're with Joe and Q on ESPN Radio and on your smart speaker.
I'm Randy Scott. Today on SC Plus, streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. Shohei goes deep for the 5th straight game. It wasn't enough for the struggling Dodgers. Aaron Boone hits the showers early, and a batting stance you have to see to believe. We're going to go through the most unique stances ever. All that and more today on SC Plus.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text SIZZLE to 369-369. That's SIZZLE to 369-369. SIZZLE to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th.
Terrio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain not getting any better? Maybe you're stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now talking about surgery. Well, before you head down that road, you need to check out my friends at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about how QC Kinetics is revolutionizing medicine with their regenerative and cellular treatments. Using their advanced cellular therapy, QC Kinetics is helping your body heal itself. And don't just take my word for it. The results from their patients is off the charts. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. In fact, most people that come in for their free consultation ask if they can just start right away. It doesn't cost a thing for that second opinion with QC Kinetics. You owe it to yourself to live a pain-free life, and you owe it to yourself to check out QC Kinetics. The results could be life-changing. Call QC Kinetics today at 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Visit the Milwaukee County Zoo this summer to enjoy so many species of connection. Home to more than 2,200 animals and over 340 species, kids can dig into dinos at the zoo's summer exhibit. At Exploration Dinosaur, presented by Meyer, you'll unearth the past and present and explore prehistoric bones, teeth, and more from mighty dinosaurs like the T-Rex and Triceratops. It's an exciting adventure with life-size dinos and hands-on discoveries. Exploration Dinosaur is open daily now through October 5th. Visit MilwaukeeZoo.org for more information.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Start the day with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can't get to the Super Bowl in early October, but they are not playing like a team that has those types of aspirations right now.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
You can listen back on the Joe and Q podcast. Great conversation we had earlier with Peter Rosenberg, 880 ESPN New York, about Hulk Hogan's passing. TMZ reported it earlier today. 71 years old. Probably the most famous pro wrestler in the history of that business. Hulk Hogan passes away at 71. This is Joe and Q on ESPN Radio. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. He's Andre Snellings. I'm Jonathan Zaslow. Couple things. One, I feel fortunate that I happen to be doing